Coming up, we've seen one title contender, Alabama, survive already. Can the Aggies do the same? Ron, Mike, Adrian, and Jerry Punch will have it for you, and we'll see you back here for the halftime blitz.
Is an ESPN special presentation.
Here in the wide open spaces of the land they call Texas, everything takes on a bigger than life proportion. Everything. And that includes their football. To Texans, the game is life itself. And when Longhorns and Aggies meet, it breeds feelings that burn deep, that smolder across generations, because for player and fan alike, this one's full of all the elements of what it is to be a Texan. Enthusiasm, passion, drive, and tradition. This is a game that is the very essence of Texas football. One of the great traditions on the 40 acres here in Austin is that when the Texas football team is victorious, the famed Texas Tower will burn orange until first light the next morning. Head coach John Makovic is hoping that thing is bathed in orange until early on Friday. Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Franklin. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Well, for the Horns, if they win tonight, it is victory number 7, and that would mean a bowl game for them. But for the Texas Aggies, they're 11-0. No Aggie team has ever gone 12-0 in the history of the school. Still very much in a national championship picture for them. And for the two of them, well, this is the essence of Texas football.
We are always focused toward Texas. Texas is the biggest game of the year. They're our rivals. You know, I've been going this game since I was 2 or 3 years old, and it's just an enemy game.
Again, it goes back to bragging rights for the whole year, regardless of, you know, we can win 0 games the whole year, but if we beat them, and I think they feel the same way, you know, there's one team you really want to beat on your schedule.
As far as football goes, there's absolutely nothing but hatred between myself and the University of Texas. I think we hate them and they hate us. That's just the way it's always been. That's the way it's always going to be.
The Texas meeting room, where Texas plans to stop Texas A&M's national title hopes tonight. For Texas A&M, Greg Hill, the tailback, will be the key player in their ball control offense. It will be important for Texas A&M to get into the fourth quarter with Greg Hill and Rodney Thomas as backup tailback and try to wear down the Texas defense. On the other side of the ball, Peter Gardere on last year's first play threw this interception to Marcus Buckley, which set the tempo of the game. Peter Gardere needs to have the game of his life tonight to beat Texas A&M. His keys: control the ball, keep it away from A&M's offense. 2, protect the ball, no turnovers. 3, blitz opportunities. Last year, the blitz hurt Peter Gardere. Tonight, Peter Gardere hurts the blitz with big plays.
Well, Coach, Peter Gardere better beware. I mean, he better look out for linebacker Marcus Buckley. Now, granted, he's going to get double teamed, but the A&M coaches figure they found a way to turn him loose. If so, you're going to see one of the best linebackers in college football. Up for the Butkus Award, he could be as good as the old Bears linebacker himself. Now, tonight, across the field, behind the Texas bench, Dr. Jerry Punch.
Thank you very much, Adrian. Although Texas is known as the Lone Star State, that's what's been missing from the Longhorn offense the past few weeks. The big play player. But they may have found a solution in true freshman wide receiver Mike Adams. He's done it all. He scored on a punt return, a pass reception, and even running the ball. And if he can duplicate just one of those tonight, he could be the Lone Star that leads the Longhorns to victory.
ESPN's presentation of college football is being brought to you by Bud Dry. For a beer that's refreshingly different, try Bud Dry. And by Little Caesars Pizza, where you always get 2 great pizzas for one low price.
A refreshingly different beer has come together. Why is that such a bright idea? Why ask why? Try Bud Dry. It drinks easy like a light with real draft taste. No wonder.
Well, there goes the neighborhood.
Yeah. It's attracting such a crowd.
Hey, Hattie told Maddie about some pizza she saw. 2 big pizzas that'll fill your jaw. Pizza, pizza.
Pizza, pizza.
Yeah. Pizza, pizza. Pizza, pizza.
Pizza, pizza.
Pizza, pizza.
Pizza, pizza.
And now at Little Caesars, you can get 2 pizzas with cheese and pepperoni for only $5.99.
Pizza, pizza.
What you're looking at is Memorial Stadium in Austin, Texas, something that has been an extremely difficult ticket for this entire football season. Because it really doesn't matter what the records are, although both have good records coming into this. The Aggies, great at 11-0. This is one that the two sides will come to see, Mike Gottfried, whether it's here or in College Station. R.C. Slocum, his 4th year, and what a job he has done there. 38 wins, 9 losses, and only 1 tie. Over 80%, his winning percentage. His ball club headed to the Cotton Bowl. And on the other side, in his first Texas A&M encounter, John McAvett, 6-4 as the first-year head coach here on the 40 acres. Series history, the 99th meeting. A&M won 7 of the last 8. Texas 49-1 at home. A&M last Southwest Conference loss was right here in Austin. That was 2 years ago, 1990. You looked at the 2 deep men for Texas A&M. 2 deep guys. Schreddy has it teed at the 35 in this 99th meeting between these 2 schools in the Lone Star State. About to be underway. Mickens from the 3. Mickens all the way out across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now the McDonald's starting lineups tonight for the Aggies on offense. A freshman right out of high school in Deer Park, Corey Pullick. 3.5 games he has been playing, and he has given the Aggies a new dimension. The wide receiver, who's normally the big play guy, Tony Harrison, has a gimpy left ankle. We'll keep a close eye on him tonight. And up front, John Ellisor is the guy that leads that consistent Texas A&M offensive line. He's from Kingwood, Texas. First down, takes it across the 35. And now let's meet the starters on defense for the Texas Longhorns in their customary 4-3. And of the down 4, Bo Robinson, a senior out of Bremond, Texas. He is the leader of that defensive front 7. The linebackers in the middle, Winford Tubbs, they converted him from a fullback, and he's really found a home in the middle, a very good one. And one of the best cover guys, say the coaches in the country, Brady Cavanis. He likes to play bump and run. Number 21, he is out of Sugar Land, Texas. From the backside, Watkins hits and makes the sack at the 26-yard line. Norman Watkins.
Ron, the electricity's in the air tonight for an upset. Crowds into the game, the Texas defense. Corey Pullick, the freshman quarterback, they're trying to give him a lot of looks. They figure he's still a freshman, will make some mistakes. Norman Watkins with the sack.
Mike Watkins is a youngster that we did not see in that opening telecast against Mississippi State. He had injured a knee. Him, along with Bo Robinson, have given Texas a good tandem on the outside for pressuring the quarterback. Third down, the line to make is the 43. Pullick wants a timeout, so let's take it with him. 13:28 left in this opening quarter. We'll be right back.
Don't miss the McDonald's Holiday Film Festival, starting this Friday and featuring the Academy Award-winning epic Dances with Wolves, the original full-length movie. This video unbelievably priced at just $7.99 when you buy any large sandwich. And be sure to pick up the hilarious Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and the family favorite Babes in Toyland. These films just $5.99 each when you buy any large sandwich. Hurry into a McDonald's near you. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
One thing about the new Eagle Vision TSI comes through loud and clear. It's a remarkably designed sports sedan.
From precious metals to fashion colors, Cross writing instruments are the perfect gift for everyone on your Christmas list. From your favorite uncle to the kid who delivers the paper. And if you buy any 4 Cross pens or pencils before December 31st, we'll send you a Medalist ballpoint pen as our gift, which could come in handy. Cross, the perfect gift since 1846.
Corey Pullig, the freshman quarterback out of Deer Park. This time last year playing high school football, and tonight close to 83,000. Little different environment, Mike.
A little different defense he's facing, too.
Pullig from the shotgun. Steps up into the pocket. He can run. Gets out on the wing, and he is down at the 34-yard line. Todd Hunt defensively for the Longhorns.
Texas wants to make him make decisions. You see a lot of line movement, a lot of movement in the secondary. They're going to give Corey Pullig, number 4, just a ton of looks tonight.
David Davis, the punter. 44.3. He will be kicking away to Mike Adams, the young freshman from Arlington we talked about. And as Dr. Jerry Punch said, he is a very good one. As you look at the coverage from the end zone, lazy spiral, he's going to let it bounce. And elects not to pick it up at the 24-yard line. So let's meet the starters on offense for the Texas Longhorns tonight. He's a senior out of Houston Lee High School, and he needs to have a good ball game this evening to head out of here in regular season play to have a chance against the Aggies. The wide receivers, very good one. Mike Adams, also Lavelle Pinckney. Both are freshmen. And up front, the guy that is the glue of the offensive front, a senior from DeSoto, Texas, is Turk McDonald. You get a good look at number 9, Marcus Buckley, the senior out of Fort Worth Eastern Hills.
First pass won't be to him tonight.
I tell you, Texas always wants to know where he is lined up. Pitch goes to Jackson. Gonna be hit, and that's Buckley at the line of scrimmage, and he'll knock him down for a yard loss. Let's meet the Aggies as they start on defense tonight. The nose guard, Lance Hackelman. He plays at A&M, but he's coming back home to play this one. He is from Austin Westwood High School. The linebackers, don't need to say a bunch. He's as good as there is in the country. Marcus Buckley out of Fort Worth. And in the secondary, another one who is highly thought of by the pros. A large free safety at 6'4", 225 pounds. And he's only a junior.
Solid player, Ron. They're not going to get this off.
So both teams have to call a timeout and burn one, partly because of emotion and the crowd and the early going in this one.
Well, this is such an emotional game. We talked to John Makovic in his office the other day, and he talked about rival games, and it was interesting. He said the best rivalry he's ever been in, the one that physically hurt for the longest, was Arizona State. I was in that rivalry, too, as an assistant for Tony Mason. John Makovic was an assistant for Jim Young. But I think after tonight, he'll feel a little bit differently about this Texas A&M rivalry also.
Oh, I don't think there's any question about that. In fact, we talked with Coach Makovic yesterday about the feeling going into a first-time game like this, because he was quoted after the Oklahoma game saying people had tried to tell him, but he had no idea what that walk down the tunnel into the Cotton Bowl against OU was like. You look at what is hundreds of photographers lining the sidelines. This thing gets coverage not only on the Lone Star State, Mike, but it looks like from newspapers all over the Southwest.
Well, everything's set for Texas tonight. They're a senior football team. They have a senior quarterback. They have an opportunity to knock off the 4th-ranked team in the country. But Peter Gardere really has to be the trigger man tonight with good decisions.
16 touchdown passes, a Texas single-season record. Brown is the only setback this time on 2nd down. That's Brown in motion. They throw the quick screen. Duke. And he will be hit and knocked back for a loss at the 20-yard line. Jesse Cox, a sophomore out of DeSoto, Texas, is the man who comes across and makes the hit.
Well, if you watched the Alabama-Auburn game today, you saw a great defense in Alabama. Texas A&M's the same type of defense. Look how well they run. Number 31, Aaron Glenn's the first man there, but count the number of jerseys, white jerseys. 7 players in on that tackle. Bob Davie, the defensive coordinator.
Shotgun formation, and Gardere in the keeper. He will take it out to the 29-yard line, and again, it's Cox who knocks him down, and the punting unit will come on for Texas.
Ron, very important in this first punt. Texas long snap. A&M looked at it before the game, and they timed it, and they may go after the punt. They feel like they have a chance to block a punt tonight.
McClanahan standing back at the 15. This time they've got the return on, and it is a booming, good coverage kick. Frazier from the 24. Return to the open side of the field, and he gets knocked down after a 46-yard punt. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
This is our latest concept car. Of course, before we could sell it to the general public, we'd have to make extensive modifications. After all, the general public doesn't need a 214 horsepower engine or a specially tuned performance suspension. So when do we plan on changing it? We don't. Introducing Eagle Vision TSI. Definitely not intended for the general public.
It's a timepiece. It's a breath spray. The new Breath Spray 9000.
While some watchmakers brag about their new inventions, Loris creates practical watches like the Vector, a digital compass built into a precision chronograph. Stick with Loris, the only time worth keeping.
This season, Pizza Hut is giving you something to celebrate. The Holiday Stuffer, a pizza loaded with 10 toppings and 3 kinds of cheese. Try one medium for a special price of $9.99. Any second pizza is half its menu price. But hurry, because when the season ends, so does the deal.
At Thrifty Car Rental, we understand how therapeutic vacations can be. Getting away from the little power plays. Reassessing your personal goals. So to help make your vacation a relaxing one, when you're shopping for a rental car, call Thrifty and rent a full-size 4-door like the new Chrysler Concorde. Just $34.95 a day.
When I need a car, I always rent from Thrifty. So remember, when it's your money, call 1-800-4CARS.
Two teams rich in college football tradition go head-to-head in an SEC battle. Arkansas plays host to LSU in a special edition on ESPN.
ESPN's presentation of college football is being brought to you by Jeep. There's only one Jeep. And by Cross Fine Writing Instruments, the perfect gift for everyone on your list. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Austin, Texas. Both teams now have had one offensive possession, and neither team has been able to do anything. So let's see if the body punches have been thrown, and now some of those butterflies are gone. Hill to the right side. You'll have one, maybe two, and it looks like 73 Shane Rink, who is a freshman out of Houston, Texas, hanging onto his ankle.
University of Texas will assign 8 people, these 8 players, to try to stop the run. This is a man coverage situation, man coverage and a free safety in the middle, but they're committing 8 people to stopping the run versus Texas A&M.
Texas shifting at the last moment as the pitch comes. Going to be hit and knocked down in the backfield, and it's Norman Watkins, number 1, who leads the attack. Again, Shane Rink also helping out.
Leon Fuller, the defensive coordinator, strategy is very simple. Crowd the line of scrimmage as you see Leon Fuller with 8 people and make Corey Pulig and the receivers beat him on the outside, man to man.
Mike, first down in this ball game. It's going to be extremely important for both clubs, isn't it?
It's a sword fight right now. They're feeling each other out.
Pulig, good protection over the middle, has it to his fullback, Doug Carter, but he will be stopped short of the first down at the 30.
The important thing for Texas defensively is to get some momentum. Their offense should have some good field position for John Mackovic on this series.
Davis to punt again, and I have a feeling that possibly the special teams coaches might tell Davis this time, come up and catch the football. Don't let it hit the ground. Adams, and they're coming after him. Line drive kick, and Adams will let this one bound at the 35-yard line and just run away from it. Well, be sure to be with ESPN for Heisman Saturday. ESPN's college football coverage kicks off with College Game Day at 11:30 Eastern Time. Then at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, it is Garrison Hearst taking his shot at the Heisman as Georgia plays host to Georgia Tech. And the College Football Scoreboard Show follows to get you updated on all the day's action. Then at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, Gino Torretta and Marshall Faulk go head-to-head as the #1 ranked Miami Hurricanes travel to San Diego State. All of that on Saturday, right here on ESPN. Michael, that's where we will be. And it might be a little warmer than it is here in Austin. Short drop to throw, look-in pass, incomplete. Duke was the intended receiver. And Dr. Jerry Punch, what do you have for us?
Talking about Marshall Faulk's injury last Saturday, Rod, you know, he injured his right knee, the posterior collateral ligament. Did not practice Monday or Tuesday. I talked to Brian Berry, the head trainer at San Diego State, a little while ago. He told me that he ran some last night. In fact, Marshall put shoulder pads on this morning and ran about 8 or 9 plays with the team. Still questionable, though, for Saturday night. Back upstairs.
Okay, Doc. Thank you very much. Jerry Punch on the sideline. He's on the Texas side. Adrian is on the A&M side. Running play to the 40-yard line with Phil Brown, and it's Jesse Cox. We seem to have called his name a great deal already in this ball game.
Jesse Cox with 2 tackles here early in the game on Phil Brown. Phil Brown, number 29, is the receiver that I look for Texas to go to tonight against the A&M defense, because there's a lot of man coverage by Texas A&M, and you like to work your backs against those linebackers.
Third down. Texas needs the 45-yard line to keep this drive alive. If you just joined us, 8 minutes left, opening quarter, no score. Little linebackers on the blitz, and they go with the counter. Brown will have the first down in the little delay. He'll come across the 46 to the 47. Michael Hendricks, the strong safety, is there. Excuse me,
Ron. Bob Davie was guessing. He brought both linebackers up inside, and Texas came back with the tailback counter and caught both those linebackers in the wash inside, and that's why Phil Brown was able to get outside, pick up the first down. Good call by John Mackovic.
Boy, Mike, this A&M defense does run to the ball so well, don't they?
You always look at the pursuit of a defense on how good they are. A&M runs very well.
Gardere puts it up, got a man open, and dropped by Pinckney. Just off his fingertips, Lavelle Pinckney had a step on the corner.
As soon as you start hurting the defense running the football, then you get one-on-one coverage with Derek Frazier. Now, it's a little quick hitch, little fake. Lavelle Pinckney on the takeoff just a little bit too far. Derek Frazier just beaten on that play. Should have been a score. Peter Gardere just didn't loft it up high enough.
Pinckney inside the 40 to the 39. Another youngster who is a freshman right out of high school. Jesse Cox defensively. And Adrian Karsten, let's get a report from you.
Ron, I can tell you one of the reasons Texas is moving the ball so well early on here is because a lot of the motion just prior to the snap. A&M is getting caught having to make their defensive calls late just prior to the call. You saw Coach Godfrey pointed out with those two backers. Coach David just kind of guessing there. Texas really eating up a lot of yards here.
That was a gain of 15 as you look at Buckley. Pressure is on, and he will be sacked back at the 48-yard line. Solari, Steve Solari, a junior out of Willow Ridge, just outside of Houston.
They collapse the pocket. Sam Adams, number 94. Steve Solari, number 94. Rather, Sam Adams, number 95. Watch him collapse the pocket. Peter Gardere back to pass. Now here comes the pocket. Good sack by A&M. Good decision by Peter Gardere. He just becomes better in the system. Knows when to throw, when not to.
Second down. Go back on the screen. Brown, 40, 35, and down to the 33 again. It's Jesse Cox who ran him down. And that is, we're told, 5 individual tackles by Cox already in this first quarter.
Well, we talked about Ron's speed, and when you have speed on a defense, how do you take care of speed? There's going to be a fake here and then a screen. Peter Gardere is going to roll out and throw back, and that's how you take care of foot speed of a defense. Look at him run to the football. Now you set the screen up. Now you get good blocking. Jeff Boyd, number 58, pick up good yardage.
Third down to pitch. Tries to cut it up inside, and Adrian Walker will be dropped at the line of scrimmage by Big Sam Adams, the sophomore out of Cy Creek, 6'4", 282 pounds.
When Sam Adams cranks it up, you're not going to see many better defensive linemen than number 95 of Texas A&M.
Sam was the defensive player of the league in the Southwest Conference last year. Scott Toretti will come on and attempt this field goal, and this one will be from 53 yards for the near hash mark. This would be one better than his best this year. He got it. So the Longhorns are on the scoreboard. And Toretti with his best of the year, 53 yards. As you take one more look at it, it's the Longhorns 3 and the Aggies nothing. Let's take a break.
Hi, folks. At Liberty Dayton Chrysler Plymouth Dodge Jeep Eagle in Liberty, Texas, we're in the middle of our October sell-a-thon, and we've got everything discounted, even keys. Are you tired of looking all over East Texas and not finding any? We got them, and a lot of them. So what do you do? Pick up the phone, dial 1-800-833-8841, and let's talk your terms.
Take Highway 90 to the 146 bypass in Liberty.
He protects all living things in the forest. But he can't do it alone. Please don't play with matches. Put out your campfires. And never, ever forget the words of Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
The puck drops here. National Hockey Night on ESPN. Friday afternoon, a special edition of the NHL. It's a heated Adams Division rivalry as Ray Borg leads the Bruins against the Whalers. Friday afternoon at 1 Eastern, live on ESPN.
Some of the almost capacity house here in Austin, Texas. If you take a look at a packed upper deck on the home field side, and then back down into the horseshoe. The scoring drive, 9 plays, 31 yards, almost 4 minutes, 4-run, 4-pass. And they're now saying officially the ball had been moved back 1 yard or up closer, so it's ready with a 52-yarder. That ties and equals his longest this year. Reveille. This kick is rather short. Had to come down at the 13-yard line to Mitchell. And Mitchell hit by Malone as he crosses the 30 to the 32-yard line. Well, a special Friday coverage of ESPN's college football features the LSU Tigers and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Dangerous freshman tailback Robert Davis leads the team in rushing, including a 76-yarder against A&M earlier this year. Kevin Harlan, Craig James, and Charlene Hawks will have the action for you tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock Eastern Time, right here on ESPN. Greg Hill hit by Winfred Tubbs, number 44, the middle linebacker. Also Kevin Wattler, number 47, who plays the left outside linebacking position, on the stop.
Texas A&M's going to have to challenge Texas on the outside or with some crossing routes versus man coverage to open up their running game. There's too many folks in there right now to block.
I mentioned the fact that Harrison has had a problem with his ankle. Matthews and Mitchell are now in at wide receiver. Harrison has gone to the bench. Option play. The pitch back to Hill. Cuts it up. Close to the first down. You could hear the ooh from the crowd as he got stuck at the 41. It's Van Malone.
You talk about a guessing game. When a team plays man coverage, a great play against man coverage is the option game because your receivers are running off the defensive backs. Texas on that play played zone coverage and guessed right versus the option.
Third down. A&M needs the 42.5-yard line. 3-0. Horns on top. We are just under 3.5 to play opening quarter. They go with the running play. Hill gets by the tackle, thought he was going to be dropped for a 5-yard loss, but an outstanding back like Greg Hill, you don't arm tackle, and I believe with that effort he picked up the first down.
Well, they had a great defensive call again by Leon Fuller. They just didn't make the play. Corey Pulley, the freshman quarterback. Ron, I like the way R.C. Slocum and Bob Toledo, the offensive coordinator, brought him along. They didn't start him at the beginning of the year. They could have used him earlier in the year, but they just waited till he's ready, and he's just added another dimension to this team.
At first down is the initial first down of the evening for Texas A&M. Play action by Pulley. Under pressure, gets it away, incomplete. Nobody close, and that was Anthony Curl providing the pressure. And Adrian Karsten, let's get another update from you.
Well, Ron, yesterday Coach Slocum told me the last 3.5 weeks, because he's been playing the last 3.5 games, this has been a totally different offense, just because of confidence level. The receivers tell me, even when Granger was in there, when he was off, the ball was high, the ball was low. With Pulley in there, even when he's off, the ball is still inside of hand distance here, so they can very easily catch it. Receivers catching the ball better well, the backs running much better. Much more confidence with this young man in there.
Great protection this time. Gets it over the middle, and it's dropped by his tight end, James McKeon. Wow, hitting right in the numbers. It's going to be a third down.
Can you imagine the emotions going through Corey Pulley's mind and his head tonight? Freshman, last year, as you mentioned, was playing high school football, threw for 21 touchdowns. He only threw 10 interceptions in high school. But the emotions tonight of playing against his arch rival, Texas.
Look at the difference in offense since Pulley has come on. Third down. A&M needs the Texas 47. Looking pass is caught. Hit immediately by Hunt at the 45 as Biggins, coming right in traffic, made the reception.
Well, the Texas defense is just saying to Bob Toledo and R.C. Slocum, your freshman quarterback, Corey Pulley, is going to have to beat us tonight because we're going to man up on those wide receivers and try to stop you from running the football.
David Davis, third kick tonight as he kicks away to Adams, and this is a beauty. Adams way over his head, and he's going to make the catch at the 3. And will be knocked down as he crosses the 10-yard line. Mike, I'm not too sure that might not have been a freshman error there because he was so reluctant to come up and catch the last two. They were at around the 35. This one he caught at the 5-yard line.
Well, you talked about they wanted him to catch the punt, but John Makovic will tell him that would have been a nice Willie Mays catch in a baseball field, but let this one go. Usually you have a 10-yard rule. He made that catch on the 5-yard line. You tell your punt receivers, anything behind you when you're on the 10-yard line, you let go.
Billy Mitchell is the man who made that tackle. And Davis, why is he excited? That was a 53-yard punt. Horns lead it 3-0. Just over 2 minutes to play opening quarter. Middle, Brown out of the backfield, and he's close to the first down. However, they're going to spot him down at the 20-yard line.
Well, we talked about Phil Brown being an excellent receiver. He is against the linebacker, number 29. Peter Gardere, you look at the protection, pretty good protection. Now you have a back, Phil Brown, who's a good receiver against the linebacker, Jason Atkinson. Pretty good mismatch for Texas.
The fullback on the carry, and I don't think Brown's going to have it. He is knocked back at the 20. Marcus Buckley was the first man to make contact with him.
Well, Marcus Buckley's all over the field, but Peter Gardere, and I know Gene Dahlquist, the offensive coordinator for Texas, they always want to know where Marcus Buckley is lined up. They'd like to run at him and not away from him as much because he's so fast to chase everything down.
Are down, and Texas may have a free one. Adrian Walker to the outside. Knocked out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Hendricks finally got him. Let's check the marker back at the 22. "35 yards on the carry. And Joe Thomas says offside Texas A&M.
Ron, the benefit of a senior quarterback to make adjustments at the line of scrimmage. Peter Gardere with a checkoff here. Texas A&M with a little movement. Number 99, Keeping Chatham. And then Peter Gardere with the pitch to Adrian Walker. But the veteran quarterback making the good decision on the checkoff.
Gardere's pass knocked out at the line of scrimmage, and it's Chatham who jumped offside just a moment ago, and he says, I'm here to right myself after the wrong that I made on the offsides.
I was over at Texas A&M on Tuesday and talked to R.C. Slocum, and he told me, he said, I'm worried about Peter Gardere. If he gets hot, he's a kind of streaky quarterback, but if he gets hot, he can make things very difficult for us, and he was really concerned about his running ability. Bob Davies going to try to blitz a lot just to try to get him jumpy in the pocket.
Texas single-season record as far as pass attempts by Gardere, 330. Going deep over the middle. There's Adams. Can't hold on. Aaron Glenn with the cover.
Can't throw it any better than that. Aaron Glenn with a good defensive move. Michael Adams, number 83 on the post route. Aaron Glenn comes out of his back pedal, breaks on the football, and used that right hand to punch the football out. Junior college transfer from Navarro Junior College. Aaron Glenn.
And a Southwest Conference record for pass deflections by him this year. Crawford comes into the backfield, number 37. Gardere's pass underthrown, looking for Duke, and it was Jesse Cox who put the pressure on.
A&M has been very solid on third down against Texas when Texas gets past the 50-yard line.
McClanahan comes in to punt. 38 seconds left in this opening quarter from Austin, Texas. 3-0, Texas leads. pitches this one very high. Going to go inside the 10 and will be downed at the 4-yard line. 39 yards in the punt. Adrian Karsten.
Last play on offense, Ron, was a pass to the tight end, McKeon, who is the replacement for Greg Short with a sprained right ankle. Now, with A&M's passing attack, their game plan tonight is to use a lot of that short stuff, 8 to 10 yards across the middle. Could be key for the A&M Aggies.
Well, it could, Adrian, when you use a guy, or lose a guy, I should say, who is your leader in any category, and that's what Sharp is. In fact, Mike, we did that rehearsal game out in Anaheim when A&M played Stanford, and he caught the crucial touchdown pass in that one.
Good receiver. Solid receiver.
Straight ahead with the fullback, and Carter will take it across the 10 to around the 12-yard line. That could be the last play of this opening quarter.
Late line movement by the Texas defensive front, just enough so that Corey Pulig, the freshman quarterback, has trouble audibling to change the play because of the line movement.
4 seconds, down to 3, and that is the end of our first quarter. So let's take a break. Begin to the first 15. Texas 3, Texas A&M nothing.
Okay, so these guys may know a little more than we do about Bud. It's the rice.
It's the hops.
It's the rice. But of course, we know a lot about other things.
Hi, can I buy you something to drink? Yeah, like maybe a light beer? Budweiser. Or maybe you'd like a Bud.
Someday, boy, you're gonna learn from your mistakes.
Introducing the Dremel Moto Tool. You cut, we cut. You sharpen, we sharpen. You polish, we polish. You drill, we drill. You clean, we clean. You sand, we sand. You grind, we grind. You hammer. Did I mention we cut? The Dremel Moto Tool, with more than 150 available accessories. Why settle for some 2-bit Christmas gift?
At Eagle, we're well aware of what kind of cars the general public wants. And for 1993, we're happy to announce that once again, we didn't build them. Introducing the new Eagle Vision, the new Eagle Summit, and Eagle Talon. Cars specifically designed for performance enthusiasts, because appealing to the masses has never appealed to us. Eagle, not intended for the general public.
Last year, we started a tradition here at Walmart.
Thank you.
One special morning a year when we donate a portion of what you spend to local charities.
Thank you.
This Friday from 7 to 10 a.m. is that very special morning.
Thank you.
So now, besides great savings, you've got another reason to get out of bed early.
Thank you.
And these are pretty nice reasons.
Now wait a minute.
Polaroid introduces new party film.
Oh, you make me wanna grab Polaroid and throw your hands up, share a smile now. We're all together now. We're party jumping now. Grab Polaroid and
Nothing picks up a party like new Polaroid party film with colorful new borders. So grab some new party film and
grab Polaroid, grab Polaroid. You know you make me wanna shoot.
3-0. Texas leads as we head into the second quarter. Aggies with a second down and the line to make is the 17. Greg Hill to the right side has an opening, cuts back against the grain, and will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
When you're an I football team, the key block will come from your fullback, number 32, Doug Carter. On the linebacker, Winford Tubbs. It springs Greg Hill. Fine Texas A&M tailback. Big yardage out to what, the 34 run?
Yeah, and Hill now with 7 carries for 35 yards. will be very close to the A&M first down as they will spot him out at the 44. Joey Ellis made the tackle. And it's Van Malone who is coming all the way back across the field to get his headgear.
Just talked a play ago about Doug Carter, number 32. You're going to watch the block as he comes from the side to make the block on number 42, Anthony Curl, that springs Greg Hill again.
Rodney Thomas comes in. Understand that Greg Hill was shaken up in that last play, so we'll get a report on him. He gets the handoff, big opening in the middle, over the 50, down to the 45, and it's still fired. Willie Mack Garza will make the stop at the 40-yard line.
Well, that's the benefit of having two tailbacks that are equally strong at running the football. Rodney Thomas, a durable tailback. As you look at the yardage that both tailbacks have accumulated this year, 15 touchdowns for Greg Hill and 10 for Rodney Thomas.
Rodney Thomas, maybe not the finesse runner that Hill is, but boy, he just showed right there. He'll run right over you. Breaks off another tackle and is all the way down to the 30-yard line. And now on successive plays, Texas A&M eating up real estate at the average of almost 10 yards a carry or better. And let's go to Adrian Karsten.
Just a stinger to Greg Hill, Ron. Just kind of a burning sensation down the right side of your neck into your right shoulder. They're going to put him right back in there as soon as he's ready, which should be any moment.
Ron, the key player in this drive for Texas A&M has been Doug Carter, 32. Good carry on the last play for good yardage, but his blocking ability is what really is making both tailbacks, Greg Hill and Rodney Thomas, look good tonight.
Well, I talked about the last 4 plays for Texas A&M as it is a first down. They stretch the change out. Runs of 22, 9, 17, and 10. Bob Toledo, right of your screen, the offensive coordinator.
Francisco State, he was a quarterback out there.
Thomas will take it just inside the 30. It's Van Malone defensively. 3-0. Texas leads. We have 13:20 left to play until halftime.
Doug Carter, the fullbacks. Keep your eye on the I fullback, Doug Carter. Good adjustment there, picking up the block on Bo Robertson as he was able to make that redirection just before the play started.
Thomas. Oh, what a lick. At the 20-yard line, it's Malone, and you could feel the concussion up here. Mike, we talked about first down back in the first quarter. And on this series right here for the Aggies, they have not made less than 5 yards, and that's been the difference.
And the other thing that Texas A&M is doing on this series is putting the formation into the boundary. They're putting the 2 receivers into the short side. Texas, being a man coverage football team, will go into the boundary with them, which means the wide side of the field, you have a little bit more of a benefit of running the ball to.
First and 10, Texas A&M. Ball just inside the 20-yard line. Chair on the pitch. We will have close to 5. Number 16, it's Lance Gunn, the senior from Houston, who comes up to make the tackle.
Ron, here's what I'm talking about, just a play before. When you're a man team and they put 2 receivers into the boundary, you're man coveraging against those 2 receivers, and then what Texas A&M's doing, they're running away from those 2 receivers to the wide side of the field where Texas is evened up against them man for man. So pretty good strategy by A&M.
In the middle, they ran away from it. But a good open field tackle, and Van Malone is having his own kind of night. Just like we talked about Jesse Cox for Texas A&M. Malone has been all over the place.
See, here's what you got to look at is that's a free safety making that play on the line of scrimmage. Greg Hill, number 27, tackled by Van Malone, but that's a safety up there that fast. They have no regard for the passing game right now. It's solely the safeties are playing run.
Third down A&M. Do you throw right here, Mike, or do you keep it on the ground?
Be a great play action down.
Wanted to throw, now pulls up, gets it complete. And that's McKeon, and they're going to give him the 9-yard line, and it looks as though that is enough for the first down, as Gunn made the tackle.
I think he got the benefit of the spot there. See Bob Toledo as he sends the play in. There's the formation, both quarterbacks, one of them are live with the real play, and the formation went in with the receiver.
One live, one dummy. That's right. 9-1. 9 running plays, 1 pass of this drive. Thomas straight ahead as they had both tailbacks lined up that time, Hill and Thomas. Bo Robinson makes the tackle for the Longhorns.
Imagine, Ron, when you talk about the 2 quarterbacks, they call home and say, Mom, I'm the dummy. I'm giving a dummy signal out there. The other guy's live. It's my job tonight. Everything's important. Everything's important. Getting the information on the field.
Harrison and Matthews out wide to the left. And it's a draw play. This is Thomas. Touchdown A&M. Michael, I know a lot of people, and Greg Hill has done marvelous things at Texas A&M, but I think this is the youngster I've always thought was the better of the 2 running backs. He makes things happen when things aren't going as well.
He's a strong running back. Another good block by Doug Carter, but just a nice drive by Bob Toledo, the offensive coordinator with Texas A&M's offense. They like to play behind. When they get behind, they just seem to turn it on.
Benetoulias to attempt the extra point, and he knocks it home. And as we take a timeout, one more look at the touchdown run by Rodney Thomas. He takes it in. 7-3, Texas A&M. We'll be right back.
State Farm presents the rules of the game.
Today we're talking about scrimmage line requirements. In this play, the offense only has 6 men on the line and 10 men on the field. Is this a foul?
Most people know State Farm sells car and homeowners insurance. Some people don't know State Farm sells life insurance too. I'm State Farm agent Cecil Burt. Our life insurance policies, our prices, and our financial ability to deliver on our promises, plus the good neighbor service State Farm agents are famous for, have made State Farm one of the largest of all life insurance companies and an outstanding life insurance value.
State Farm sells life insurance.
Today we're talking about scrimmage line requirements. In this play, there is no foul for having 10 men on the field. However, there is a foul for having less than 7 men on the line. 5-yard penalty and repeat the down.
Rules of the Game has been brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This reading material will give you an idea of how good the new Eagle Vision TSI really is. Of course, we think you'll find this reading material to be even more convincing. The new Eagle Vision TSI, a truly remarkable sports sedan. And remember, you read it here first.
Heisman hopefuls, Garrison Hurst of Georgia, Gino Torretta of #1 Miami, and Marshall Faulk of San Diego State, all on Saturday.
ESPN's presentation of college football is being brought to you by Jeep. There's only one Jeep. And by Subway, your holiday party headquarters. 7-3, our new score with 10:05 left until halftime. This kick is going to go 9 yards deep in the end zone. Adams will watch that sail over his head. Mike, here are the numbers at the end of the first quarter. Texas had 80 total yards. A&M had 26. But after that drive, it's now 119 Texas A&M and 80 for the Longhorns. Dr. Jerry Punch, what do you have for us?
Well, we talk about hook 'em horns. How about hurting horns? Take a look at the Texas defense, how they have been banged up. Middle linebacker Winford Tubbs did not practice all week. He had a left knee injury the week of the SMU game. How about James Lane? A hamstring pull. His first practice yesterday. Stoney Clark hurt last week at Baylor. And Dominic Bustamante, their starting defensive tackle, out for at least 2 more weeks. So they are definitely hurting on the defensive side here in Longhorn Country.
Ron, 19 of 24 plays for Texas A&M have been running plays, so they're trying to pound at that hurt defensive line.
And that's one of those things that it's kind of like a boxing match. If you continue to go at it and you know you're hurting somebody, then you're not going to leave the well, are you?
No, you're not. You're just going to keep doing what's been successful for you all year. And the running game of Texas A&M has really the success they've achieved has been solely by the running game. They haven't thrown the ball as well this year.
John Makovic talks it over with Pete Gardere as the kick will come over. Offsides against the kicking team. So the Aggies will put it back at the 30-yard line.
We've seen Peter Gardere earlier in the year, and we both commented how we feel like he's a better quarterback. He now really, in the first year of this system by John Makovic, he's grasping the system. He's better at it. He understands where to throw the football. And I just think he's emerged as a pretty good quarterback.
Has showed a lot more poise this evening in this ballgame. Drive kick, and this one will go over Adams' head, so the Horns will scrimmage from the 20-yard line. Speaking to Pete Gardere, his Texas records in completions, attempts, passing yards, and also touchdowns, 37. And he also, Mike, distinguished himself this year as becoming the first quarterback for either team to win in the OU series 4 times without defeat. No quarterback as long as that series is now 89 years old, I believe. Gardere's pass incomplete. LaBelle Pinckney went one way and the pass went the other, so somebody was on the wrong page on that one.
Well, when you have 2 freshman wide receivers, you think it would be the freshman wide receivers. LaBelle Pinckney's a 6'5", 222-pound freshman, caught 71 passes last year at Anacostia High School, but he was also an outstanding linebacker in high school. At that size, you can see why.
Turk McDonald, the senior out of DeSoto, Texas, comes out over the football. Got a story to tell you about him momentarily. Short drop and the look-in pass. Pinckney has it complete at the 25. Now it's going to be 3rd and 5. Well, Turk McDonald was born in El Paso, Texas. And he was born on Thanksgiving Day. And his father and his grandfather were sitting in the waiting room. And his grandfather said, you know, I can't believe this turkey is coming on this day. He said, you ought to name him that. And his father said, I won't name him Turkey, but I will Turk. And they were watching in the waiting room as the delivery was happening, a football game. And it was Texas and Texas A&M.
And your nickname is Gobble Gobble, did he?
Turk McDonald. Crawford off the right side, close to the first down. And let's see where they mark it. Just across the 30. Jason Atkinson is the man who makes the tackle.
You have to keep Texas A&M off guard defensively and keep them out of a rhythm. Go to the shotgun offense, then the handoff to Gerald Crawford, number 37. Just good, strong running to pick up that first down.
Clock runs about to go under 9 minutes in this opening half. With all the running that we've had in this ball game, a very rapidly played game so far. Not even an hour old. Pumps it once, going to go up on top. Adams can't get there. Gene Dahlquist said in our meeting with him that that's one of the things that Texas needs to do, and that is get the ball in the hands of number 83 because he is their game breaker.
Well, you know, there's another play of guessing wrong. Texas was trying to throw the hitch and go, and it was well covered by Texas A&M, but the hitch was open. So it's just a guessing game, and that time Texas A&M won.
Derek Frazier with the cover, the senior out of Sugar Land, Clements. Adrian Walker. And Walker out across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Steve Solari is there defensively for the Aggies.
Keep your eye on Gerald Crawford, the fullback, right in front of 36. Adrian Walker with a key block to spring. Adrian Walker.
Third down, and they need the ball just across the 40-yard line. Hits the Brown, hit in the backfield, and he will not have it. He's going to lose a yard in the play. That's Tackleman, the junior from here in Austin Westwood, who is there to make the stop. Kelly McClanahan awaits the snap back at the 21-yard line. Aggies with a 10-man rush at the line of scrimmage. And makes it at the 34. So let's go away for a moment. Wait a minute, a flag has gone down, and we'll hold it right here and see what this is about. You can see Joe Thomas, the referee. He's out of Wilburton, Oklahoma. He's going to call a push against Texas. This is the last game that Joe will officiate. 40 years of officiating, and tonight is his finale.
Interference with a fair catch, 5-yard penalty. Defense.
I think that's a bad call. I know Joe's retiring. He didn't make the call, but I think this is a bad call, too.
So there's a timeout. Let's take a break. Well, take a timeout. 7:23 left until halftime.
We at Subway believe the key to a good holiday party isn't the music, mistletoe, it's the food. So while you deck the halls, we're here to decorate the stomach with sandwiches. For instance, if folks just drop by, pick up a sack of subs and have an instant party. Or, if you know they're coming, our party platters feed any number of hungry guests. And finally, for big party fun, our party subs prove we'll go to any length to solve your holiday hunger needs.
For more information on how to have a happy holiday, visit the Subway near you.
At Eagle, we believe that the best way to judge a performance sedan isn't just by the distance of a quarter mile, but also by the distance of a few hundredths of an inch. Introducing the new Eagle Vision.
If you want to move ahead in any career, you have to know what most employers want. Like how to work with a team, how to handle responsibility, how to take on a tough job and see it through. You can learn all these things in the Army, so when you do set off on the road to success, you'll already be in the driver's seat.
Well, you make the call here at home. I think this is a lousy call. Derek Frazier, number 23, with a fair catch signal. Going to bring the football in. Texas players stopping. Crawford, 37, a couple yards away, and look at this call. That's one that'll drive you crazy if you're coaching.
So the 5-yard stepped off against Crawford, and he has to sit on the bench and contemplate that for a bit. Aggies take over with good field position at the 40. Bo Robinson jumps across and makes contact. I believe Jason Matthews is who he's pointing at, saying that he came out of his stance. Procedure against the Aggies. Well, tonight's Army student of the game is strong safety Lance Gunn from the University of Texas. But our congratulations to Lance on his efforts as a student and leader, both on the field and also off. Lance named to one of the All-American teams this past week. Gross on the carry, and that's going to be a gain of maybe a couple. And now let's see, Mike. This is the first time in a long time that the Aggies don't have like a second down and 4, second down and 3, something like that. And we'll see how they play with the second down and long here.
You might look for a reverse or a fake reverse where they pitch the ball and fake the reverse coming around. Some type of trick play here is a possibility.
Play action, gets the pass away to Gross, so he gets wrecked. Ball is loose, and they're going to say incompleted pass. Willie Mack Garza comes up to make the hit, a senior out of Refugio, Texas.
Corey Pulig looked like Eddie LeBaron on that play as he jumped in the air and threw the football. Roger Staubach. Anthony Curl on the blitz from the outside 42. Watch Roger Staubach here. Up in the air, threw the football. Nice pass. Good man coverage technique by Willie Mack Garza for the incomplete pass.
I say he looked just like Phil Rizzuto. 7-3, Aggies lead. Just under 7 to play until halftime. Lots of time for Pulig. Ball is zipped and it is dropped. Ryan Matthews, I believe the ball was tipped just before it got to him. Watkins with the pressure.
A guessing game again. Texas plays so much man coverage, but that time they dropped back into zone defense.
Davis to punt.
Ron, keep your eye on Darrell Redd, the long snapper. He's the best in the country. Under a second, .60. Look how fast that gets back there. Can't block their punt.
It's a line drive kick, and Adams on the return. Ooh, does he run into some trouble at the 28-yard line? 38 yards in the punt, 5 on the return. Let's take a break.
Let's go, Trey. Let's go.
It was a dinner unlike any dinner probably ever held before.
I once caddied for the National Amateur.
I'm Bill Newman.
Anthony Newman?
Bill Newman.
27 different religious groups and denominations.
Where does it begin? Where does it begin, the whole concept of peace?
Joining together to celebrate the success of their TV channel. A channel that allows no on-air solicitations and no single group to dominate. It fairly shares the views and opinions
Archbishop.
of all 27.
Archbishop, would you pass the cheddar cheese, please?
That the channel lasted even a day surprised many.
I'm in love with Gabriella Sabatini.
But with a little faith and some financial help from TCI, the Vision channel is now catching on.
Now stop me if you've heard this one, if it responds to any Jewish joke.
Not that it's always been easy.
I heard it.
But we feel that it's always been worth it.
Let me tell you the punchline. Wait a minute, now these guys down here haven't heard.
Diego faces the Raiders in a battle that could determine who goes to the playoffs and who stays home. The Chargers and the Raiders are
In your face. ESPN Sunday Night NFL.
Pick up the phone for the latest sports news from ESPN anytime, day or night.
95 cents per minute. Call 1-900-996-ESPN.
Welcome back to Austin, Texas, Memorial Stadium. Second quarter, Texas A&M 7-3 over Texas. Ron Franklin with Mike Gottfried, Adrian Karsten, and Dr. Jerry Punch. I'm glad to have you along. Hope it's been a wonderful Thanksgiving for you and your family. Hope you're settling back with your feet propped up and enjoying this football game as this Thanksgiving Day, 1992, comes to a close. This is a Thanksgiving Day affair in this state that in long standing has come ahead of the turkey. Play action, and the pressure on Gardere spins away from one tackler, and then he will be nailed by Jason Atkinson. Well, let's catch you up. For those of you who didn't join us off the top of the telecast, first quarter, 9 for 18, Texas A&M rushing yardage, 1186 yards in the second. And Shreddy, 52-yard field goal for Texas. Walker, 3 rushes, 41 yards for him. sideline is McLemore. Gardere waited and waited, and all of a sudden that receiver just burst open.
Here's what Texas does a nice job of. Tom Landry, when he was coaching at the Dallas Cowboys, moved a lot of people around so that you really couldn't draw a gauge on what they were going to do. And the tight end moving over, he moved over for a specific reason on Buckley's side to just slow down his rush.
Adrian Walker squirts through a hole, has 5, has 10, 15, counted off at 18 yards. Bates with the tackle for the Aggies. Adrian Walker out of Piner Chapel Hill, hometown of Earl Campbell.
It's a pretty fair back that's from that hometown also. But Adrian Walker with just good quick steps and good quick moves behind the big offensive line of Texas. Good block by Alan Luther, number 65, and then you see the little quick darting moves by Adrian Walker. Patrick Bates with the tackle.
Aggies show blitz, they come in the middle, and Gardere will be gotten by Atkinson. Atkinson was off like a shot. Just not enough folks to block that many people. Third sack by Texas A&M tonight.
Jason Atkinson, number 43, is the key, as you look at both linebackers, the key blitz man for Texas A&M. John Mackovic told me the other day he's like their leader on defense. He just seems to make plays.
Running play with Walker, and he will cut it inside the 45. Patrick Bates again defensively. And now the Longhorns with a third down, and they need the ball all the way inside the 28 to pick up the first down. We're about to go under 4 minutes till halftime. 7-3, Texas A&M.
John Mackovic on that sideline is working every play because every play is so important against Bob Davies' defense because you're only going to get so many chances. They're so solid on defense. It's going to go to 4 receivers here.
Deep over the middle, it is caught. Not enough for the first down, but Duke with the diving stab. But with the range of Scheretti, he might have put Texas within field goal range. He already has one from 52.
They're going to go for this fourth down, it looks like.
Fourth down and about 4 to go, and they are. No kicking team. You have to wonder if they're going to try to get him to jump off sides and then send the special teams in.
Keep your eye on Michael Adams and Lavelle Pinckney, both outside receivers.
On fourth down, the quick out pass has a man there, and Brown got turned around. Mickens with the pressure.
Tried to get the ball to Phil Brown. Went to 3 wide receivers on this play and tried to get the ball to Phil Brown, number 29. Just got him turned the wrong way. Steve Solari, number 94 in coverage.
It looked like Solari just changed the direction of the ball just a bit. You could see the rotation turn, or change, I should say, as he got a hand on it. So the Aggies hold. It's 3 minutes, 15 seconds until halftime.
John Mackovic had what he wanted, linebacker to running back.
Play action by Pulley. Gets the pass complete. Gross out of the backfield, and the fullback will have 11 yards in the play. Garza on the stop for Texas.
When you play man coverage, a lot of times the back coming out of the backfield is the toughest man to defend. Willie Mack Garza a little bit late on making the tackle. This is the area of the field where you'd like to open it up for the freshman quarterback, Javon Toledo.
Pressure from the backside. Robinson with the hit on Pullig as the pass is caught inside the 20. That's Brian Mitchell.
This is where your quarterback grows up. You get a chance in one-on-one situation, man-to-man. Joey Ellis, number 27. Corey Pulig, number 4. Just gets enough on it and then gets hit, leveled by Norman Watkins. And there's the catch. A good adjustment to the football by Brian Mitchell, number 18. He's able to go up as Joey Ellis just keeps losing away. He lost the receiver.
So the line of scrimmage is now the 11-yard line. 2 minutes, 52 seconds left until halftime.
The ball is going to be in the hands of the tailback on this play. Greg Hill.
Hill with the handoff. Takes it to the left side, and he will go inside the 10-yard line. Shane Rink is down at the bottom of that pile, redshirt freshman from Houston, number 73.
You have enough time on the clock with 2:24 to run or throw the football. I would think play action pass here.
Pitch to Hill. Gets a block at the 5-yard line, and Garza will finish him off there. And Garza has injured his ankle on the play. He's coming straight to the sideline.
Can't afford to lose Willie Mack Garza, number 17. Solid player in the secondary, good run support, good pass defender.
Garza was also a running back in high school besides being a defensive back, and a very capable one, but he's not very big. 5'9", 180 pounds, from Refugio, it is pronounced. It is spelled R-E-F-U-G-I-O, Refugio, Texas. As you look at Leon Fuller, the defensive coordinator for the Horns. On third down, they go with the reverse, and it's Thomas, and he'll walk in. Touchdown, Texas A&M. Tulius to attempt the extra point. He's got it, and as we go to break, let's take one more look at this touchdown by Rodney Thomas, the sophomore from Groveton.
Now wait a minute.
Polaroid introduces new party film.
You know you make me wanna grab Polaroid and shoot. Throw your hands up, share a smile now. We're all together now. We're party jumping now. Grab Polaroid and shoot.
Nothing picks up a party like new Polaroid party film with colorful new borders. So grab some new party film and
grab Polaroid and shoot. Grab Polaroid and shoot. You know you make me wanna shoot.
This season, Pizza Hut is giving you something to celebrate. The Holiday Stuffer, a pizza loaded with 10 toppings and 3 kinds of cheese. Try one medium for a special price of $9.99. Any second pizza is half its menu price. But hurry, because when the season ends, so does the deal.
He's back. This time we get it. STP gas treatment. Cleans intake valves and fuel injectors to help engines run better. STP, the edge.
The world of Makita design. Innovative. Always a leader. Makita. It's all the power you need.
14-3, Texas A&M with just over a minute and a half until halftime. Bo Robinson, defensive end for the Longhorns, getting a breather on the sideline as the Aggies stop a 4th down attempt by the Longhorns and then come back and convert it into another touchdown. Dr. Jerry Punch, what do you have for us?
Guys, a loss of Longhorn defense can ill afford. Senior free safety Willie Mack Garza just a couple of plays ago. Take a look at his left ankle. His left ankle buckles and he gets rolled on. He hobbles off the field, came to the sideline. Mikey Stevens, the head trainer and the staff, put him on a cart, have carried him to the locker room where they'll examine him. They also have x-ray equipment here. We'll give you an update from the locker room here momentarily.
Thanks, Jerry. And just as Mike had said, as you pointed out, he is one of their seniors and a leader in the secondary and one that it's hard to replace. Gardere rolls the pocket, and he will slide down to the 22-yard line. Jesse Cox is there defensively.
John Mackovic's offense with 1:20 to go, he is not settling to kill the clock. He wants to move the football down the field with his senior quarterback. So he's going to open it up. Screens, draws, throwing the football.
The blitz up the middle. Gardere gets away from him and now just throws it deep and incomplete. Adams was the closest man to it.
Jason Atkinson, number 43, with good pressure. The only problem when you throw the football like this, Ron, is it stops the clock.
Right.
You got 1:03 to go. 2 timeouts left by Texas A&M, so they could get the football back in good field position. If Texas runs the football here, look for A&M to stop the clock.
Texas needs the 30-yard line to keep this one alive. Linebackers coming on the blitz in the middle. This is Walker. Reverses it. Loses the football. Recovered by A&M. Jesse Cox, number 48.
Adrian Walker, 36, had nowhere to run on the right side. Reverses his field. Just look at the point of the football is not covered and the ball is just outside. Aaron Glenn, number 31, the junior college transfer from Navarro Junior College, strips him. Jesse Cox, 48, with the recovery. And now, with 54 seconds to go in 2 timeouts, do you turn Corey Pulig loose? I think you do.
I do too. And that man right there knows that to beat an undefeated Texas A&M team, you got to play a near perfect ball game, and putting it on the ground inside your 30 is not playing a perfect game. Greg Hill, he wants to throw. Throwing back to his quarterback, and Texas, Bo Robinson was out there to defend on the play. He didn't let Pulig go anywhere.
Well, the only player who could have caught that's a tuba player over there in the Texas band, because that was thrown so far out of bounds.
Now we have a flag down back at the 35-yard line, and that's going to be an illegal grounding of the football call.
Well, unless he was throwing it to Tommy Tuba, you know, that was the only eligible receivers. R.C. Slocum's a little upset.
Offense, 5 yards, lost him down, second down.
Going to be the pitch to Greg Hill, number 27. He's going to throw back. Pulig, and look where he throws it. He did exactly what the coach told him. He said, if he's covered, you throw it in the second row in section 10.
There's a track around this field. That was all the way to lane 7. Pass deep over the middle, incomplete. Overthrown. Boy, and I'll tell you, Cavanis came up and really put the lumber on Tony Harrison.
Texas is going to have to put some points on the board to win this game. We all know that. But let's don't forget this drive now. This drive started on the 29-yard line. If Texas gets out of this could be a big play for them, because they were really in dire straits. Now you have to figure that Corey Pulig's going to throw one to the end zone.
Halftime blitz, Pat Dye's last game, and Eddie Robinson gives thanks. All that and more is coming up at halftime here on ESPN. Pulig, all the time in the world, deep over the middle, has it complete. That's Mitchell. Brian Matthews, I beg your pardon, 81 rather than 18, and Lance Gunn makes the tackle.
What made that play, Ron, was the pass protection given by the offensive line of Texas A&M. And good movement by Corey Pulig. Great protection on this play, but Corey Pulig also buys some time. It's the offensive line of Texas A&M as they lock on. Remember, we talked about the defensive front of Texas being hurt. Now Corey Pulig moves to the left side and really gets some zip on this pass to number 81, Ryan Matthews, to pick up the first down.
That's also what a mobile quarterback will give you. 29 seconds left until halftime. Look at the difference as far as the first quarter and the second quarter. That's 213 yards for A&M. The Longhorns held to 53. 80 yards they had in the first quarter.
Dominated the second quarter. And now with the ball on the 18-yard line, you have to figure with 29 seconds, you got at least 3-4 passes where you throw the ball toward the end zone. Got a lot of time here. Can be very patient on offense here. Good play selection.
Got a good look a moment ago at 93 for Texas, who is Stoney Clark. He's a freshman, 6'1", 310 out of Gladewater. They didn't know if he was going to be able to play because of an injured knee, but they were hoping they could get about 15 plays out of him tonight so that Hunt and Rink could be spelled a bit. 1st and 10. Backside pressure, looks for the end zone, overthrown. Anthony Curl is the man who was coming with the backside pressure, and Pulig has proven tonight that he can take a pretty good shot. He took one right there.
Best compliment he got was from his teammates, where they said he reminds them of Bucky Richardson, their successful quarterback last year, who's with the Houston Oilers. Confidence. You see the confidence on his face? Your eye on Brian Mitchell, number 18.
Safety blitz by Gunn. Still on his feet is Pulig, and now will be dropped. Gunn is 6'3", 220, and he still couldn't knock him off his feet. And Gunn hit him a pretty good lick.
Late blitz by Lance Gunn, the free safety, number 16, strong safety. He moves up to the end of the line of scrimmage, and now he comes untouched. He's able to get to Corey Pulig and just shake him enough and wait for the cavalry to come and make the tackle.
That was the cavalry. That was the cavalry. That was Stoney Clark at 310 pounds who came in there and moved some more bodies around.
Well, usually a 310-pounder can move the pile.
So we have 12 seconds left until halftime, and the discussion going on in the A&M bench, Mike, is to try to run one play and then get Venetoulias in a position to, with the kicking team, to come on.
I think I would kick the field goal here with a freshman quarterback, although I've been really impressed with the way he's playing right now. You definitely have time for one play, but you can't afford a sack, and you can't afford somebody to make the catch and run unless he's going to get out of bounds.
That's right, because with the 12 seconds, you'll burn it up. John Mackovic, his first year as the head coach here on the 40 acres, coming down from Illinois. And let's go down to Adrian Karsten quickly.
Ron, 99% chance it's going to be a fade pattern to the end zone, right side of the end zone.
All right, we'll look for it. Thanks, Adrian. Puts it up, looking for Mitchell in the end zone, can't get it. That'll stop the clock with 7 seconds, and look what had happened. Number 3, Tony Harrison on the left side was down, jumping up and down. I don't know if Cavendish left him immediately, but Harrison thought he had gotten open.
I think he was open, but it was just as Adrian was talking about, the fade route against man coverage to the outside. Brian Mitchell versus Joey Ellis, number 27.
27 to 39. Venetoulias on his career, this attempt of 42 yards. Good pass, plenty of distance, and he's good.
Good call by A&M. They took the shot for the end zone with the freshman quarterback. Came up empty, but was close, and then still had time to kick the field goal.
One more look at it as Venetoulias had plenty of leg on this one. He's got plenty to spare as this one clears. And Dave Davis, who is the punter, is his holder, and you can see their reaction. 17-3. They move out to a 14-point bulge. And again, coming up at halftime, the halftime blitz. Also, we'll take a look at Auburn and Alabama. Pat Dye's last game, and Eddie Robinson giving thanks on this Thanksgiving Day, 1992. Joey Ellis, youngster who plays corner, sophomore out of Tyler, Texas, getting a breather on the sideline. Aggies have been a different football team in the second quarter compared to what they were in the first 15 minutes. This kick is on the ground. And it's going to be taken by Adams at the 7-yard line. So we are at halftime. The halftime show is coming up next, but right now let's take this break. A&M 17 and Texas
3. One thing about the new Eagle Vision TSI comes through loud and clear. It's a remarkably designed sports sedan.
Don't miss the McDonald's Holiday Film Festival, starting this Friday and featuring the Academy Award-winning epic Dances with Wolves, the original full-length movie. This video unbelievably priced at just $7.99 when you buy any large sandwich. And be sure to pick up the hilarious Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and the family favorite Babes in Toyland. These films just $5.99 each when you buy any large sandwich. Hurry into a McDonald's near you. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
My brother, about to become a father.
So how big can a crib be? Season tickets went on sale today, Mike. Yeah. Well, maybe next year. You've gone 5 years straight. Yeah. Is this about the kid? This kid's getting for free, you know. He's gonna be a little tight. Mike, this year's on me.
Only one beer has the taste as genuine as the people who drink it. Budweiser.
Now, the new little guy's going to every game, right? Bobby, it could be a girl. A girl?
We had to keep Lee away from that fruit. Happy Thanksgiving. Welcome back. Chris Fowler along with Lee Corso. And Craig James joins us live from Fayetteville, Arkansas, getting set for the LSU-Arkansas game tomorrow. Aggies up 17-3. And bad news for Texas. The A&M team outscores opponents by a 4-to-1 ratio in the second half this year.
Well, Chris, that really speaks well of their physical conditioning. From what I've seen tonight, Texas A&M has the best set of running backs in the nation. They break tackles. They're aggressive. They set the tempo for the entire team.
Hey, Coach, that's saying a lot considering the Nebraska tandem of Calvin Jones and Derek Brown. I think A&M's playing their best football game of the year right now because it's incredibly tough to go into Austin and do what they're doing. Plus, they've got superior athletes on the field right now.
Now, if they can open the score up, maybe win back some of the voters who have them behind Florida State, Lee?
I tell you what, I'm not going against Texas A&M again at anything. I pick them over the Cowboys, anybody.
An impressive performance could win back some votes, and they've been slipping behind the Seminoles in the AP poll, and the lead shrinking in that coaches poll. We'll have to see. Meanwhile, the Iron Bowl, Alabama trying to clear this hurdle for their title hopes, and Pat Dye's final game as Auburn head coach at Legion Field today. No sweeter way to go out for an Auburn coach than by beating Alabama. Players showing loyalty and some great defense early on here. David Palmer nailed by James Willis. Scoreless game at halftime in the third quarter. Bama's defense finally takes things into its own hands, and Antonio Langham takes it into his hands. Pick it off Stan White, 61 yards for the touchdown, 7-0. Now in the fourth quarter, after the Tide had kicked a field goal, Sherman Williams takes the handoff. He'll get into the end zone, and watch the little shake rattle, and roll Tide. They have drills to find the camera in the end zone after you score. Tide defense still tough. Reed McMillan just going to get swarmed. Great penetration by the Tide front four. Then Stan White slammed by John Copley. He left the game. Pat Dye shut out for the first time in his career in his final game. 5-5-1. The Tigers finish up. They haven't scored a touchdown against Bama in the last 10 quarters. Dye afterwards a beaten man.
It comes a time when if you do stand up and fight, then the destruction far outweighs the other. And I did not want to split our family. I didn't want to tear down what's been built there in the last 12 years. And I didn't want to leave Auburn on any kind of bad terms. Auburn is my family.
Dye moves on to hunting and fishing. Alabama moves on to the Gators against in the SEC championship game. That game is at Legion Field next Saturday.
And absolutely, Alabama has a definite advantage playing at Legion Field in Birmingham. Their overall record there, 140 wins, 48 losses and 1 tie. They win over 74% of the time they play at Legion Field.
I agree that they're going to win in this ball game against Florida. Plus, I'll say this. I now believe that Alabama will beat Miami in the Sugar Bowl for the national championship, and I'm hoping we're there. Plus, they've got an offensive line now to go along with Jay Barker at quarterback. Some consistency on that offense. That defense is unbelievable.
Well, Pat Dye called Alabama the best team in the country after the game. I'm not sure I'm ready to go along with you on picking them over Miami. We'll talk more about that in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, the NFL, also a Thanksgiving tradition. The Cowboys, when they win the Sunday before Thanksgiving, are 14-2 on Thanksgiving. A more important factor, Kent Graham playing for the Giants, and Jimmy Johnson enjoying his holiday. He would enjoy it more later on when Emmitt Smith got into the act. 68 yards for a touchdown, 120 yards for Emmitt, the first Cowboy since Tony Dorsett 12 years ago to go over 100 yards against the Giants. 30-3 is the final as the Cowboys move to 10-2. They clinch a playoff berth if Tampa beats Green Bay on Sunday. Oilers at the Lions. Eric Kramer in for Rodney Peete. 17-14 Oilers fourth quarter. Kramer looks for Barry Sanders. Finds him over the middle. Sanders in for the touchdown. 21-17 Lions. A minute to go. Oilers. They surprise the Lions with a draw to Lorenzo White. 8-yard touchdown. Oilers on for the victory. 24-21 to go to 7-5. Cody Carlson, 338 yards, filling in for Moon. Webster Slaughter had 7 catches and 84 yards. Coming up on the halftime report, we will visit with a legend, Eddie Robinson, on this holiday. And also the halftime blitz. There was no holiday for the Blitzers. We'll get you ready for Saturday's games when we come back.
He's crazy about the rodeo. He says he's crazy about me. I don't know. Maybe he's just plain crazy.
Here's to rodeo cowboys, the women who love them, and cowboy cut jeans. Wrangler.
I'm State Farm Agent Jeff Libby. One of the most gratifying parts of my job is helping young parents, people who are just beginning to understand what life insurance is all about. Young couples don't need a sales talk. They just need to talk to someone who understands them and their life insurance needs. Now, I know what that promise of security means, and I don't believe there's a better promise a parent can make.
State Farm sells life insurance.
Imagine being born with the ability to meet any challenge expertly. That's the wonder of the new Maxim XI from Minolta. With the experience of professionals programmed right in, it responds to any change of speed, or light, or distance automatically for ultimate performance. Give a Maxim. Give the best.
Only from the mind of Minolta.
Rodney Thomas scores on the reverse, one of 2 touchdowns for Thomas, 17-3 Aggies at halftime. Of course, Saturday, some critical ball games which have national championship, bowl, and Heisman implications. As I said, the Blitzers get no holiday. They fill you in what you need to know, starting with Steve Cyphers in the East region.
Thanks, Chris. It's Florida at Florida State. The Gators go for an 8th straight win, concerned with Charlie Ward and that explosive fast break offense. Before going almost exclusively to the shotgun, Ward threw 13 touchdowns and 15 interceptions, but since then he has 8 touchdowns and only 1 interception. Running back Sean Jackson and wide receiver Matt Pryor are healthy and ready to go for the Noles, but Gator linebacker Carlton Miles is listed as doubtful with a knee sprain. In any other year, he might play in this one. But for the first time in a long time in this series, this game does not mean as much to Florida because next week they play Alabama in the inaugural SEC Championship. Right now, the Sugar Bowl is more important than bragging rights. Now to Chris Mortensen in the Southeast beat.
State championship weekend in the Southeast, starting with Georgia Tech at Georgia. Now, Tech quarterback Sean Jones playing in his final game. He's 53 yards to become the all-time ACC total offense leader. He'll open it up this game. Now, Georgia Tech coach Bill Lewis is trying to show his team what a good football player Garrison Hurst is. He's not just showing them his great run, he's showing them the great 2 blocks he threw against Florida on Frank Harvey's 80-yard run. Now, Tech is soft in the middle. They've had some injuries there. Look for Hurst and Georgia to dominate this game between the hedges. Mississippi State at Mississippi. First time in 20 years it isn't played at a neutral site. Ole Miss, Corey Philpott needs 113 yards to get to 1,000. You know, he might have some success here because Mississippi State defensive end Jerome Brown has aggravated a shoulder injury. Tennessee at Vanderbilt. Tennessee defensive end Todd Kelly is hurt. He has 11 sacks. Shouldn't make a difference because Vanderbilt averages only 16 passes per game. Vandy will try and steal this game on special teams, but you know what? Tony Jackson, the kick return specialist, he'll get a lot of action because Tennessee will score points in this game. Now let's go to the Southwest beat with Ivan Mazel.
Oklahoma beats Nebraska. The Sooners go to the Aloha Bowl. Lose and they stay home. Nebraska's won 3 of the last 5 in Norman. Husker Weebacks Calvin Jones and Derek Brown should find room inside. Linebacker Mike Coates, OU's leading tackler, is out with a broken leg. That leaves a sophomore and 3 freshmen in the middle of the Sooner defense. Now, Cale Gundy will start at quarterback for OU, and he's the passer. But after what Iowa State did to Nebraska with the option, maybe the Sooners need one more meeting. Rice at Houston. Texas loses and Rice wins. The Owls go to the Hancock Bowl against Arizona. Rice hasn't beaten Houston since 1986. Now they've got the defensive line to pressure Houston quarterback Jimmy Klingler. Talk about depth. 11 Owls have at least 1 sack. Tackle Corey Seymour has 6. Now, if quarterback Burt Emanuel and tailback Trevor Cobb can control the ball, Rice will do its part. In the meantime, they've got to root for the Aggies. Now to the Midwest and Gary Danielson.
Okay, Notre Dame, Southern Cal. You might think at first glance everything is favoring the Irish. I mean, they've won 9 straight versus USC. They still have a shot at the national championship. And last week when they had a week off with a bye, USC was losing a tough one to UCLA. Don't downgrade this USC team. And they're giving up just 99 yards a game rushing. When the other team tries to pass, 50 sacks this year compared to only 22 in 1991. Okay, the key to the victory is going to be the big plays and which team's big play guy produces. For Notre Dame, it has to be Rick Meyer. He needs at least 60% passing and 2 touchdown passes. And for USC, Curtis Conway, their flanker. He's produced touchdowns in 5 different ways. Saturday, he has to do it at least 2 different ways. And now to the West Beat and Mel Kiper.
Miami of Florida at San Diego State. Dennis Erickson has reminded his club of the close call to Murph 2 years ago. They won't take the Aztecs lightly. For San Diego State, Marshall Faulk has been restricted to only straight-ahead running on the sidelines with the trainers. Al Luganville says that unless Faulk's sprained right knee tests out 100%, he won't play. In order to keep the game close, Aztec quarterback David Lowery will have to be on fire, completing 70% of his passes for over 400 yards. With Miami's tremendous skill level in the back 7, don't count on that happening. Tulsa at Hawaii. The Holiday Bowl-bound Rainbows will have to guard against a letdown. A rested Tulsa squad will have their top defensive player, linebacker Barry Minter, as well as 3 offensive linemen and their tight end back from the injury list. Expect a tight, competitive game on the island. Chris?
All right, thanks, Mel. Heisman Saturday, the top 3 candidates on ESPN at 4 o'clock. Georgia Tech taking on Garrison Hurst, number 9, Georgia. Then at 7:30, Miami and Gino Torretta, 1 game away from a national championship game, taking on San Diego State and Marshall Faulk. Now, the word is his knee has improved. 75% effectiveness against the Hurricane defense. But, Craig, not many backs have a lot of success at 100% against that defense.
And that's exactly the key to this game for them. Marshall Faulk with the 154 yards rushing last year in the Orange Bowl. He was healthy In this ball game Saturday, if he's not healthy, he won't play apparently, but if he does, you know he won't be 100%, and you've got to be totally committed with your body if you're going to get 100 yards against the Miami Hurricane defense.
It doesn't make a difference if he plays or not. Gino Torretta will throw for over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns because of a lack of the pass rush by San Diego State. That's without a blitz. If they blitz him, he'll throw for 6 touchdown passes.
6 and
Yes.
4, Miami about 4 touchdowns, right?
At least. In 3 quarters, he'll do all that.
All right, Craig, enjoy your night in Fayetteville. Look forward to the LSU-Arkansas game, and we'll see you on Saturday as well. Coming up on our halftime show, we'll visit with the legend, Eddie Robinson. 50th season at Grambling, still living his childhood dream.
A lot of my dreams have come true. I wanted to be a football coach since I was in the 3rd grade, and it just materialized.
On Sunday nights, where can I eye a ton of Bears? In your face! ESPN Sunday Night NFL. Every week, it's where the best go face to face.
In your face. In your face. In your face. When the moon comes out, ESPN is in your face.
ESPN Sunday Night NFL. The Raiders battle the Chargers Sunday night at 8 Eastern.
Alcoholism, it can tear a family apart. If someone in your family has a drinking problem, you can see what it's doing to them, but you may not see what it's doing to you. Fact is, you don't have to drink to suffer from alcoholism. In Al-Anon, people learn how to deal with the drinking of someone else, often someone close. For more information about Al-Anon or Alateen, call 727-6225 or 800-356-9996. Al-Anon, hope for families and friends of alcoholics.
Or keep children safer on playgrounds, or make artificial blood to use in operating rooms. At the University of Texas at Austin, faculty and students are solving these and other problems of today as well as the next century. They are making our lives and our world safer, cleaner, more productive, and more fulfilling.
Tonight we focus on opportunity and achievement and the student athlete.
The NCAA, which is composed of over 900 member institutions, makes rules and regulations to protect the interests of student athletes and the integrity of athletic competition. The NCAA is presidents, faculty members, athletic directors, and coaches at hundreds of campuses across the country. We are the NCAA.
On this Thanksgiving Day, there is perhaps no one for whom college football fans should be more thankful than Eddie Robinson, the winningest all-time active coach, preparing his 50th Grambling team for their grudge match against Southern, the Bayou Classic, on Saturday. Tim Brando had a chance to sit down and visit with this living legend.
For those last 50 years, I've been the luckiest man in the world, and I have enjoyed every moment of it, and I always say it starts with being born in America, a land where dreams can come true, and a lot of my dreams have come true. I wanted to be a football coach since I was in the 3rd grade, and it just materialized.
Let's get him, man. Let's get him. Let's get him. Let's get him. Come on down, man. You got to get your feet on the floor. Let's go.
We want him to be better men for having played the game, because if he comes here and he plays football, he doesn't get his degree, he's the loser. What makes me feel good, you can just about do anything you want to do if you have the ability and you have the patience. And if you look for good people, you find good people. You look for bad people, you find bad people.
I hope you read the papers this morning. Didn't nobody pick you? That didn't make any difference. They didn't pick you last week.
You got to dream. I think dreamers are the saviors of the world. I'm so thankful because I really believe some of the finest football players to play college football, to play pro football, high school football, they played for us.
We're loyal to thee, our heroes true. We'll fight for thee forevermore.
Citizen, 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 elegant citizen, citizen, elegance. Oh, his citizen, one citizen with lots of citizen, elegant, elegant, average, elegant citizen. We've got elegance.
This season, Pizza Hut is giving you something to celebrate. The Holiday Stuffer, a pizza loaded with 10 toppings and 3 kinds of cheese. Try one medium for a special price of $9.99. Any second pizza is half its menu price. But hurry, because when the season ends, so does the deal.
America's first choice. Napa Auto Parts.
At Napa, you'll always find top quality parts at a fair price. Plus, great holiday gift ideas for under $20. Like Napa's heavy-duty mechanics creeper, just $9.95. The Napa 6-piece combination screwdriver set, only $13.95. And Napa's 20-inch toolbox with 3-compartment tray, just $19.95. Save on great gifts for under $20. At Napa, America's first choice.
At Texas A&M University, we're proud of our tradition of preparing Aggies for a lifetime of success.
Looking back, I feel that A&M as a whole taught me how to go into the community and help other people as well as be a leader on my job.
When you leave school, you have 2 things. You have your education, which relates directly to your job, and then you have personal skills, which allow you to deal with people.
I had an advantage coming out of Texas A&M. There's no doubt.
Preparing top students for the workforce. At Texas A&M, it's our greatest tradition.
17-3 our score at halftime here at Memorial Stadium in Austin, with the Longhorns on the short end of this one. And Mike Gottfried, I'm going to put you in John Makovic's place down in the locker room. What do you do here in the second half to combat Texas A&M?
Ron, I'm going to defer to one of the greatest coaches of all time and a great man, Coach Tom Landry. Coach, what would you do if you were Texas head coach?
I tell you, you're in a spot when you're in this position. As you know, it's going to be pretty tough for them to come back. They're playing an excellent football team, and John is just starting to build this program. He's going to be excellent for the University of Texas.
Very quickly, when you played here with the Longhorns, things were a little different. You didn't just play on one side of the football, did you?
That's right. We played both ways, but we had to earn our money in those days.
Your golf game in good shape?
Oh, bad. Terrible.
All right.
But I love it.
I know that. That's what the 5 and 6 handicappers say. We'll be back with the halftime stats and more of the second half. But right now, let's take this break. 17-3, the Aggies on top.
Shopping for a new vehicle has gotten complicated in a lot of places, but not at Keating and Winnie. We were the first dealer in the area to offer one-price shopping and our no-hassle guarantee. Forget the sticker. We figured our very lowest price on each vehicle and put it right on the window. No games, no hassle. Of course, folks have been buying from Keating and Winnie for over 35 years that way. Isn't it time you did? Keating and Winnie, your hassle-free one-price dealer, just 30 minutes east of high pressure.
In auto racing, the pace car is the one that is out front leading the way. We do the same at Brookshire Brothers with pace-setting prices on name brand items. These prices are not weekly sales, but everyday low prices. Here are a few.
Heinz Ketchup, 32 ounce, only 93 cents. Miracle Whip, 32 ounce, only $1.58. Van Camp Pork and Beans, 3 for 95 cents. Nice and soft bath tissue, 4 rolls, only 99 cents every day.
Come shop Brookshire Brothers where prices are cheaper every day.
This one, the game to be decided on this play. Quarterback back to pass. Rolls right. He's got it deep. Oh. Got a man at the 50. He's at the 50. The 40. The 30. The 20.
No! Order your tickets today. You won't miss any of the hard-hitting action of Southwest Conference football. Hey, it's the perfect outlet.
Here are the highlights in the first half. Thomas with his first of a couple of touchdowns.
And Thomas on the reverse for the second touchdown. Look at the running game, Ron. Greg Hill, 12 rushing attempts, 4.6 average. Thomas, 6 rushes, 7.2 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Gardere on the sideline warming up. A celebration of sorts here at halftime, Mike, as this is the 100th year of Texas football. You can see the 100 patch on the shoulders of all the Texas football players. A fireworks display, and there's been a little bit of everything. Tempers between band members and cheerleaders, what have you. Here are the numbers in the first half. A&M 199 yards, and the bulk of that came in the second quarter. 145 total for the Texas Longhorns. Look at the average on first down.
Well, that's the key, Ron. We talked, and you talked about first down. You have to get something on first down, and when you're averaging 0.7, you're always in long yardage situations against the great defense. But I think in the second half, Peter Gardere has to get the ball to Mike Adams and Lavelle Pinckney on the outside.
Mike, what's happening right here? This rivalry, as we said, the 99th meeting. We've had a couple of little flare-ups between first the Aggie band came through the Texas band as they marched on the field. The football team did, and there were words and pushes. Then the cheerleaders came back on the field for Texas and went through part of the Aggie band. There was a little bit of an altercation, and now we have dueling bands. They won't get off the field. Both are down at the south end of the stadium.
Well, next year they can give them shoulder pads, and they can really be ready for contact.
And we also appreciate, as you said, not only one of the greatest coaches to have ever been a part of this game, but one of the nicest gentlemen to have been a part of it, Tom Landry. As you look at John Mackovic, and he paid John Mackovic quite a compliment about what he's done with this program.
Anyone that's coached, Tom Landry's a hero to all of us, and a great man, and along with Gil Brandt, Tex Schramm, formed one of the great pro franchises in the Dallas Cowboys, and they were great for college football. They were great, too, college coaches.
Bullock warming up on the far sideline. Venetoulias will kick it off as the Longhorns had won the toss at the beginning of the game and deferred here to the second half. This is Adams from the 7. Big hole, and he can fly. Loses the ball. It is out at the 36-yard line of A&M. Frazier was back as a safety valve.
How many times do you see that where a safety will drop the ball on the kickoff return, and then all of a sudden the defensive players get out of their lanes and really start to bear down. He drops the football, has trouble picking it up. Now everybody ran past him. Now he's able to bring the ball back out. He fumbles it late, but it goes out of bounds. Great field position for Peter Gardere and the Texas offense.
56 yards on the return. Longhorns begin at the 37-yard line. The linebackers in the middle with the blitz. Quick out pass. Adams. And so far, it's been the Michael Adams show here in the second half. And let's go down to the sideline, Dr. Jerry Punch.
Guys, John Mackovic couldn't have orchestrated it any better. He said, guys, in the second half, we've got to have one thing. Offense. We got to score. We get the ball first. We have got to move the ball on the field in a hurry and get some points on the board. Let's check in on the other sideline with Adrian Karsten. Adrian.
Well, Jerry, confident but determined Aggie locker room. They said, look, we got to put more pressure on Gardere. However, they think they figured out their offensive formation, expect to see more blitzing here in the second half.
Slip screen. Comes to Duke. He can throw. That was a lateral, and he throws it back to Gardere. Blockers in front at the 10, 5, touchdown Horns. Strong. A lot of noise in this stadium on 3 big plays for Texas. Ready to attempt the extra point.
You need big plays against a great defense. Great call by John Mackovic. Makovic. Peter Gardere is going to throw the football to number 48, Derek Duke. Then get the ball back. Now watch the blocking assemble outside for Peter Gardere. Motion to get the extra blocker. There's the first pass to Derek Duke. He looks downfield, looks off the defense. Now back to Peter Gardere. Now watch the blocking set up. Peter Gardere in the end zone for the touchdown. Big play for the Texas offense. Reverse angle. Now watch Peter Gardere. Marcus Buckley, he chases the Derek Duke pass. Now Peter Gardere becomes a receiver on the other end of the throw for the touchdown. Good block by 78 Blake Brockermeyer.
That is the first career reception by Pete Gardere.
Tom Landry probably would have a call for that play. That was probably in his Cowboy playbook.
Mickens, good look at him, one of the two deep men for Texas A&M. Mitchell is back there with him, Billy Mitchell. 17-10, a new score. Aggie lead cut to a single touchdown now. Well, we saw the same play with SC, and they scored against UCLA last week. Throw back to the quarterback and let him run. Mickens brings it out to the 22-yard line. Dr. Jerry Punch, another update from you.
Guys, an injury could loom large for the Longhorn defense. I told you at halftime we were going to the locker room to take a look at Willie Mack Garza's ankle. Well, it turned out not to be his ankle. They x-rayed it. It's a broken fibula, the non-weight-bearing bone, about 6 inches below the left knee in his left leg. He is through for the year, guys. A tough break for the Longhorns.
And he has had a very good career with the Texas Longhorns, and he'll be missed in the secondary. Pitch to Hill. Turns the corner. Has 5 yards. Counted off at 7. Anthony Curl defensively.
Keep our eye on Van Malone, number 8, because he replaces Willie Mack Garza. 6'1", 190-pound junior, so the pressure on the defense goes to Van Malone.
Van Malone, the coaches give him the reputation, particularly this guy, says that Malone is one of the hardest, toughest hitters that he has ever had at Texas. Pitch to Hill. Turns the corner. Hurdles one man and is going to be sandwiched at the 29-yard line. It's Norman Watkins who took his feet out from under him.
Sometimes in a game, third down becomes so critical, and it's early in the third quarter in this third down situation to gain momentum. This Texas defense needs a stop for confidence purposes and to get the football back to their offense.
Play action. Going to go long, and he's got Gross, his fullback, open at the 50-yard line. 1st and 10, Texas A&M. The ball is lost, and the Longhorns have recovered. Van Malone.
Well, we just talked about Van Malone, Ron. He has to come up with some plays in Willie Mack Garza's absence. Great play call by Bob Toledo to start this series. Corey Pulley with a good play-action fake. Everybody thinks it's going to be a run. Both receivers inside. Cliff Gross, number 33, is wide open. There's the strip by Van Malone. The recovery by Van Malone. Who stripped that ball? It was the see, Ron, who stripped that?
Going to have to come back and look at it one more time. Longhorns from the 48. Blitz in the middle. Atkinson is picked up, but he will be caught by the second wave, and it's Sam Adams, number 95, who makes the tackle. Gardere is sacked for the 4th time in the ball game by the Texas A&M defense. As you look at Malone.
Let's take a look at the fumble. Now they're saying it's Winfred Tubbs, number 44, who strips the football. Then Van Malone with the recovery on the big play.
Pass incomplete as he wanted his tight end Jason Burleson. Gardere took a pretty good shot as he delivered the football. 92 Eric England really leveled him. And now it's a third down for Texas. They need 11 yards to pick up the first down.
John Makovic likes the dig route. The dig route is a route that will be run by either 80 Lavelle Paintnier or Michael Adams, 83, on an inside move where they go down past the first down marker and then break inside.
Then a counter tray. Face mask. Flag comes in late, and it's enough for the first down. Solari will be credited with the tackle. I think it was England that he was running by who grabbed him with the face mask.
Well, you talk about some good calls tonight. John Makovic goes to the counter play on third and long. Able to catch Texas A&M. There's the face mask on Eric England, number 92. Caught him in a defense, the 4-2 defense on the pass.
Lead the run. First down.
And made a big play.
The Aggies looking for pass, Mike. Your point is well taken. And they come back with a counter tray and now tack on the 5 yards for the face masking. And the new line of scrimmage is the 38-yard line.
Got to keep them guessing on defense, and John Makovic's doing a good job of that right now.
Deep over the middle, incomplete, and now here comes the flag. Atkinson looked as though that he was face masking and had never given ball recognition. Number 43, and I think that's the reason they marked him. He never turned around toward the ball.
Had his back to the football. He was covering Jason Burleson, number 13, the tight end on the crossing route. Upper left side of your screen, Jason Atkinson, number 43 on pass coverage. Tight end's crossing. He's trying to keep him from coming across. He does not allow him to be able to get to the football. 5 penalties.
Yep, 5 for 35. Running play. Adrian Walker will be wrapped up. That's a good tackle by Jesse Cox, as it looked as though he was going to have some good yardage. And Dr. Jerry Punch, what do you have for us?
Guys, you can feel the momentum shifting here on the Texas sidelines. It's electric. The emotion. John Makovic convinced them at halftime they could come back and do it. They were 30 minutes away from a postseason bowl game. They absolutely believe they can win this ball game. Adrian, how about your side?
Jerry, on the other side of the field, I am standing in the middle of a totally different team. I mean, these guys are in shock. Look at how Texas is running the ball against the number 1 defense in the Southwest Conference.
Middle linebackers on the blitz. Gardere gets away and fights his way forward inside the 25. Patrick Bates finally got him. I thought the youngster was dead in the water back at the 39-yard line. And the Aggies have a up there.
Bob Davie keeps bringing his linebacker, Jason Atkinson, 43. The pressure's coming inside. Eric England, number 92, comes free. But Peter Gardere is able to get out. Patrick Bates finally makes the hit.
Davie looking on for the sideline. It is England who is down with the injury, number 92. So let's take a break. 11:26 left, third quarter. A&M 17-10.
Took me about 25 years to see things the way I do now. And I think I'm still learning. One thing that a customer should get is the feeling that he is the most important person in the place. At your service. You open your place to people more with American Express. It's easier. No, I couldn't really put it any other way.
American Express is welcomed at Harry's Bar and just about anywhere else Harry's been.
Presenting the Ryobi Detail Sander.
It gets into all those small, tight spaces where other sanders can't reach. And with special add-on accessories that also prepares surfaces for painting, scrapes paint and adhesive off glass, wood, and metal. Even polishes and buffs to a brilliant finish. In fact, you can use the Ryobi Detail Sander any place your imagination takes you.
When it came time to sell the car, I don't know why. Guess I was sort of torn. I mean, we'd been through a lot together. Still, I decided to run an ad with what I thought was a fair price. Next thing I know, I've got all these incredible offers. After a lot of thinking, I went with the lowest bid.
Thanks, Dad.
Just over 11 minutes left to play in this third quarter. Austin, Texas, the state capital of the Lone Star State. Little bit of a nip in the air tonight, but nobody feels it's supposed to be down below freezing. But it has been warm inside this stadium. Again, middle linebacker blitz. Texas picks it up. Ball is tipped. Ball tipped by Patrick Bates. Number 29 got a hand on it. Junior out of Galveston Ball High School.
6'4". He's got good height, and with his hands able to get the ball, be able to deflect it. His idols Ronnie Lott and Steve Atwater. Tells the umpire to move out of his way, and he moved right in front of him anyway. But he's still able to get his hands on the football. He's mirroring the quarterback right in the lane of the pass.
42-yard field goal attempt by Scott Schrader. Good pass, plenty of leg on this one, and he's good. (17-13), our new score. Mike, frankly, in the first half, youngster would have had that exact kick of 42 yards, and I was surprised that Texas went for that fourth down back in the first half.
Well, they passed up that chance, but I think he has so much respect, John Mackovic, for the Texas A&M defense, and he figures he's only going to have so many chances, and he just felt like he needed to go for the touchdown.
Pete Gardere on the sideline, the senior out of Houston, Texas, talking with his head coach. And Coach Mackovic made a point about the new offense. This is the third offense that Pete Gardere has had here at Texas. And they've had to spend so much time with him this year. And then with an injury to his outstanding freshman quarterback, Shea Morantz, that they're going to have to start all over again with someone as far as reps next year.
All over, and that's the toughest thing because he's going to be able to sign 23 scholarship players and 40 over the next 2 years, so he can completely rebuild the scholarship.
17-13. Taken at the 25 and out to the 30, and the 35-yard line is Detron Schmidt. Well, the Heisman Trophy race reaches the finish line on Saturday as the top three candidates play on ESPN. 4 o'clock, Garrison Hearst leads Georgia against Georgia Tech. Then the College Football Scoreboard Show follows with a recap of all the day's action at 7. And at 7:30, Mike, Adrian, and I will be in San Diego for the showdown between Gino Torretta and the top-ranked Hurricanes of Miami against Marshall Faulk and the Aztecs of San Diego State. Faulk did run today and is iffy but might play Saturday evening. That's the report we got just before game time. Aggies in the 35. Good heavens, what a hit right at the middle. That's Shane Rink, who stepped up and made the collision with emphasis. Hill is up and back to the huddle.
You can see the emotion on this Texas football team. R.C. Slocum, you can see the worry on his face that his football team needs to reacquire the momentum in this game.
The Aggies undefeated. No Texas A&M team has ever gone 12-0. In 1939, they went 11-0 and won a national championship. Pass lobbed out and knocked down by Van Malone. How many times do you see this, Mike, where a guy comes off the bench, has been shadowed by somebody else, and all of a sudden turns into a world gamer?
My Wally Pipp story. Van Malone really with a great break on the ball. Almost picks this off, and I'll tell you, he's got 6 if he does.
Boy, the pass was intended for Doug Carter. On the other side of the line, as far as what is at stake, Texas hoping for a bid to the John Hancock Bowl in El Paso.
Look for the tight end over the middle. Great shorts into the ball game.
Looking for him, looking, gets the pass away, and just over the outstretched arms of Tony Harrison.
Texas A&M likes to go to the tight end in this situation. Watch the coverage on the tight end, Greg Short, as he comes off the ball. Linebacker stays with him. It's almost double coverage on Greg Short, forces him to throw the football outside.
Davis's kick. This is a long driving spiral, and Adams from the 20. Return back into the sideline, and he will take it to the 34. So there's a timeout. 17-13. Aggies on top.
Some days the gang's all here, week after week or once a year. There's a gazillion different ways to have these get-together days.
A great day calls for a great beer. The Michelob beers, with its smooth, classic taste you don't find every day.
Michelob, some days. Michelob, some days. Michelob, some days are better than others.
In traffic, you encounter windows of opportunity, which is why we gave the Mercedes-Benz 400e a V8 engine. Right now, Mercedes is offering 2% APR financing on the 400e and other selected models. A window of opportunity that bears a striking resemblance to those you find in traffic. For financing details, see your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer.
If atomic particles had been square instead of round, it probably wouldn't have happened. If it had been a wet cell instead of a dry cell, it's doubtful. And if the positive terminal had been negative, who knows? There might never have been a battery called Energizer or the Energizer Bunny. But luckily, everything happened just right.
ESPN's presentation of college football is being brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, builders of fine automobiles since 1886. And by the Michelob family of beers, because some days are better than others. Now Van Malone on the sideline and getting a little bit of a break after another good defensive series, replacing the injured Willie MacArthur, who has a broken bone in his leg. Running play, cuts it back into the middle. Ball is loose and taken away by Texas A&M. That's Solari with the football. Jesse Cox caused the fumble. Two fumbles by Texas tonight, both on their end of the field.
Number 58, Lance Tackelman reaches in and is able to strip the football from Curtis Jackson. Steve Solari on the recovery. Big play for the Texas A&M defense.
Thomas is coming the ball game at tailback. Gets the handoff, gets to the outside, and Shane Rink will come up to meet him. Maybe it's a gain of 1.
Kevin Wadler, number 47, really made that play on defense to force Rodney Thomas to the outside.
Shane Rink, who made that stop, interestingly enough, he and Sam Adams, who plays defensive tackle for Texas A&M, both played at Cy Creek High School. In fact, they took their recruiting trip together here to Austin. One stayed, the other went to College Station. Rodney Thomas turns it upfield, still on his feet, and because of that second effort, he's going to have the first down. Mike, I'll tell you, tonight, he's the one making it happen, not Greg Hill.
Well, you're right. Rodney Thomas, a strong runner, able to pick up this first down. They're turning the ball game over to the running game. Good stretch blocks, good block by the fullback. Rodney Thomas picks up the first down. Texas defense must hold and stop the running game of A&M.
Texas with the momentum and an opportunity with the football back, and they turn it over. Second miscue of the night. Straight ahead with Thomas. Tries to bounce it outside, and he does. Going to be tripped up by Kevin Watler, and if Watler doesn't get him, he might have been headed for 6 points.
Exactly right. Kevin Watler, number 47, with a shoestring tackle on Rodney Thomas, or he's off for more yardage. Now they're starting to pick back up the 5 yards on first down, Ron.
But they're also doing it with a different tailback in the game, and I don't know if Hill is, because of a couple of little injuries, is slowed, but Thomas he's fresh. He's fresh, and he's making bigger plays. Blitz is on in the middle. Thomas inside the 15, and he's all the way to the 11-yard line. Another A&M first down. Watler defensively.
If you're a Texas fan, you're looking for some kind of big play, a holding call against Texas A&M or something big to try to stop this drive, because they're just controlling the line of scrimmage. You see the nice block again by Doug Carter, 32. I mean, they're just rearing back and running the football right at the Texas defense.
You could see Hill come back into the ballgame. They're replacing Rodney Thomas. And Pulley wants a timeout. Only 2 seconds left on the 25-second clock. So let's take a break. 7:35 left in the third. Aggies by 4.
Dayton State Bank. Friendly service. Hassle-free loans. Drive-in convenience. Your full-service bank in Dayton. Dayton State Bank. Let us be your bank.
At Brookshire Brothers, our high-top brand merchandise sets the pace by bringing not only value for your dollar, but quality also. To some, private label means inferior product, but High Top ranks as one of the best in comparable quality to national brands. When you choose High Top, you're saving 10, 20, sometimes 30% off the national brand's price. Be a pace setter and choose High Top next time you shop.
Come shop Brookshire Brothers where prices are cheaper every day.
BN, 12 sticks of splashing, 11 venom lashing, 10 dunks of crashing, 9 broncos flashing, 8 forehands slashing, 7 skiers dashing, 6 golfers cashing, 5 bumps and dings. More skating turns, great big flips, sports centers too, and a ball we should start the new year.
Have a ball this holiday season on ESPN. Two teams rich in college football tradition go head-to-head in an SEC battle. Arkansas plays host to LSU in a special edition on ESPN.
Happy Thanksgiving from Austin, Texas. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, along with Adrian Karsten and Dr. Jerry Punch. John Makovic pacing on the sideline, his team with their back to their own end zone. It is a 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. Thomas back in the ball game at tailback. They give it to him. Runs into his own man, then going to be corralled, and he'll still take it down to in the vicinity of the 7-yard line. As Lance Gunn is there to make the stop. Gunn, an interesting story in high school, didn't get to play a majority of his senior year because of a leg injury, and there were a lot of people that were leery of him, but has come on to Texas, and as I said, has been named to at least one All-American team and has done an outstanding job for the Texas Longhorns. Thomas again, the lone setback. Ball was never snapped, movement all over the place. Ball has been picked up. procedure against the Aggies.
Well, they needed a mistake. Here you look at Corey Pullig, number 4, the freshman quarterback. He's not going to back away from anything here.
Carter goes out, and you can see Short, number 86, coming into the lineup. The tight end who has been plagued with an injury to his ankle. Thomas to the outside. Tubbs will hit him and knock him down at the 10-yard line.
Van Malone, number 8, really made that play from his safety position to stop Rodney Thomas. You'd be satisfied if you're John Mackovic to put him in a field goal situation where they only get 3 on this drive.
Third down. The line to make is the 1. Bullock straight in the pocket. Lofts it to the end zone and incomplete. Cadmus with the cover on Brian Mitchell.
Well, R.C. Slocum said this week that this secondary of Texas may be as talented as any secondary around. I think Alabama's got a great secondary. Colorado, it's a good play by number 21, Grady Cadmus. Now you want to block the field goal here for Texas to make a big play.
Venetilius to attempt the field goal from the 18-yard line. Kick is good. So it's 5:53 left in the third quarter. Our new score, Texas A&M 20 and Texas 13. On Sunday, join ESPN for the most comprehensive coverage of all the NFL action. At noon Eastern Time, it's NFL Game Day with all the previews and features. Then at 7 o'clock Eastern, it's NFL Prime Time for the most comprehensive highlight show on television. And at 8 o'clock, it's NFL action as the L.A. Raiders take on the red-hot San Diego Chargers, winners of 6 of their last 7. It's a very crucial AFC West matchup, all coming Sunday on ESPN. Bobby Ross, in his first year out of Georgia Tech, has done a good job with that football team, hasn't he?
Junior Seau, Bert Grossman, some good defensive players for the Chargers.
Bill Arnsparger is the defensive coordinator out there. Bill, of course, just coming from the University of Florida as the athletic director down there.
Selling tickets, and now he's stopping people from getting yardage.
Mike Adams.
He's a good coach.
Yep, he is. Adams is back deep. Kick is going to send him about 8 yards deep again. Well, what a weapon that is on the special teams. When you got a guy who can consistently kick it into the end zone. And let's Karsten for an update. Adrian, what do you have?
As the Aggie defense takes the field now, I talked earlier on about being able to read the formation. When they get into a blitzing situation now, the Aggie defense, watch number 94, Steve Solari. Because of his speed, Bob Davie wants to bring him up on the line, put him in a 3-point stance as a 4th down rusher. They figure they can get more pressure on Gardere because they think he gets a little bit impatient back there.
Okay, we'll keep an eye. Boy, the Aggies have blitzed it from about every position and angle that you can tonight. Running play and the counter with Adrian Walker. Jesse Cox is there to make the tackle.
A little counter play by Peter Gardere in the Texas offense. Still believe Lavelle Pinkney or Mike Adams on the outside have to get the football to make some big plays for this Texas offense. Too tough to run against this A&M defense. You got to keep them honest, but the throws to the outside have to be the key.
Walker, 8 carries, 76 yards. Counter Trey. They pull the guards, runs up into the middle, and runs into a wall of A&M tacklers at the 25. England along with Michael Hendricks. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down for the Longhorns. They need to achieve the 30-yard line. Mike, very much akin to what happened in the first half. I think Texas needs very badly to get a first down right here because all of a sudden, just as in the first half, the momentum is slipping away from them.
Slipping away, and the tough thing about third down is Ray Mickens comes on the field. Number 24, the extra defensive back. Makes it a little tougher to throw, but Peter Gardere can hit this pass and keep this first down alive.
Shotgun formation. Pressure up the middle. Gardere hit from behind, and he's going to be tackled by Ray Mickens, the guy that Mike was just talking about.
They brought Ray Mickens in as an extra defensive back, then blitzed him from the outside. Bob Davie with an excellent call to stop the Texas offense.
McClanahan to punt. And Frazier is the man back in the deep position again for A&M. Frazier with the fair catch at the 32-yard line. 42 yards on the kick. He almost waited a little too long on that, Mike. The ball was in a downward trajectory and coming to him quickly. Adrian Karsten, what do you have for us?
Been keeping track of how many times they've really been going after Gardere tonight, Ron. 16 times they've played blitz. They've gotten, total about 6 sacks here. 10 out of 16 times is not bad. I mean, hats off to Bob Davie and that staff for being able to read the offensive side of Texas so darn well and then really hit them at their weakness.
They have been selling out, so to speak. 3:57 left in the third. Aggies by 7. Thomas takes it straight ahead. That's Anthony Curl, number 42, who is on him. Bob Davie talks to his defense on the sideline. Like one of the things we needed to mention about halftime is the fact that the 100-year celebration of Texas football, the Aggie band came back on the field and they performed with the University of Texas while the fireworks display went off. And as somebody commented at halftime, that's the first time in 99 years they've ever done anything together. Thomas. Caught from behind Watler.
Kevin some big plays in the second half. Maybe none as big as this one. Counter play to number 20, Rodney Thomas, but Kevin Watler with his speed chases him down from the backside for a big loss.
So it's going to be third down, and A&M needs 10 yards. They roll the pocket, wall it off. Pulling, gets it complete at the 45-yard line. Ryan Matthews got the defensive back turned around, and he had position on it.
When you get man coverage, Ryan Matthews, number 81, adjusts to the football. Joey Ellis, number 27, just loses touch with the receiver. See the adjustment by Ryan Matthews? He's able to come back outside. The reaction by the freshman quarterback. He makes him a tougher offense to defend.
No doubt about it. You see his numbers tonight, 143 yards, as Hill joins Thomas in the backfield. And the play clock down to 2 seconds, and Pulig will have to call a timeout. Well, college basketball action comes your way tomorrow night from Madison Square Garden, and this looks like late season stuff. Number 4 Indiana against number 6 Seton Hall at the NIT Final, 7:30 Eastern Time. That game will feature winner of the... Well, that's copy that didn't need to be there. Indiana against Seton Hall. That's not the last time that you're going to see those guys, I think, in a late season tiff. Do you?
No. Bobby Knight's from Orrville, Ohio. He's my mom's favorite basketball coach. On that subject, John Macvick was telling me that his mom lives in Barberton, Ohio, and always calls and says, "Are they treating you all right down there? The fans treating you okay?" As she sees some coaching changes around the country. So we'll tell her that he's doing fine here at Texas.
Dr. Jerry Punch, let's go to you.
You take a look at Pat Watson, the Texas offensive line coach. He has been working diligently with the senior offensive line, concerned primarily about one thing: sneaking linebackers in the guard center gap and have a difficult time controlling us. We're going to try to run more trap and counter trade. Next time, hopefully we'll be able to trap those linebackers inside and make the running game work. Back upstairs.
Thanks, Jerry. What they need right now is a stop, though. Option play, and Pullick going to get hammered. Shane Rink, number 73, along with Stoney Clark on the tackle. By the way, until that running play right there, which picked up 1 yard, Hill and Thomas are responsible for 136 of A&M's 145 rushing yards tonight.
Give credit to old number 32, Doug Carter, for leading the way, plus that offensive line with some good blocking. But this young man, Doug Carter, really is a solid fullback in the I formation.
You see Texas creeping up on the outside, and here they come. Pulling, stepping up over the middle. It is caught. Mitchell. Wow, what a grab.
Winford Tubbs was in pretty good position, but just underplayed the throw. Number 44. See him inside. Van Malone, number 8, got caught inside. And then the good catch by Brian Mitchell where he stretches out to bring the football in.
New line of scrimmage, the 19-yard line. 140 and counting. Aggies by 7. This is Greg Hill. Turns the corner, but have 5, breaks it open at the 10-yard line, and that is very close to another A&M first down. Van Malone got a hand on it.
Ron, I can't say enough about Doug Carter, number 32. The reason is he makes adjustment at the fullback position. He makes a block on this play to spring the right side of your screen. Doug Carter, he always sees things. There's the block on number 42, Anthony Curl, with the adjustment that springs Greg Hill for the good gain.
And they're bringing the change from the sideline. Senior from Dallas, Texas, Doug Carter. See, just short is the line of scrimmage now inside the 10-yard line. Adrian, what do you have for us?
I'm looking over the shoulders of Coach Sloak and Bob Toledo. They think they found a weakness here, Ron, in the defensive line of Texas. It's old-fashioned play. They're taking the fullback right up the middle, but it looks like he can get 6 out of this play.
Doug Carter, right up the middle, fights his way inside the 5, and he's down to the 4. And now here comes a late flag in, as Harrison was blocking against Cavanis, and a headgear went flying in the air, and then a flag came flying.
Dead ball, personal foul, defense, we have a first down, it'll be half the distance, first down.
Texas A&M line, offensive line. Watch the push against the defensive line of Texas. Come off the ball, Doug Carter picking his hole, and I think Adrian said he could get 6. I think he got 5.5, real close to that 6 of Adrian Carter.
First down and goal, Texas A&M. Carter again, nothing there. Victor Frazier, number 7, who had just come in the ballgame replacing Grady Cavanis at cornerback, is responsible for the stop.
They need a big play down here. Trailing 20-13 is the third quarter, 41 seconds to go. Pat Watson, Gary Darnell beside him, former Notre Dame assistant. Leon Fuller, the defensive coordinator.
Touchdown A&M. Rodney Thomas, his 3rd. Tertullius to attempt the extra point. Kick is perfect. And A&M back on top by 14 points with 20 seconds left in the third.
Let's follow the block of number 32, Doug Carter. To the tailback, Rodney Thomas. You just follow your fullback inside. There's the block that springs him for the touchdown.
John Ellisor, number 51, with a very good block on the play as well. As you see Thomas into the end zone, and it's A&M 27 and Texas 13.
When you talk about players of the game tonight, I'm going to tell you, unless something changes, my selection is number 32, Doug Carter. Now, Rodney Thomas has the touchdowns and the yardage, and number 32 has done just a great job of lead blocking.
Saturday night, we will be in San Diego, California. Number 1 Miami against the Aztecs. And the report late this afternoon is that Marshall Faulk put on pads even and tried to work a little bit today. Kind of iffy, but we may see. Adams from the 3. Adams all the way out to the 33. Here's the scoring drive for Texas A&M. 9 plays, 68 yards. You see the distribution, only 2 passes. But the one huge catch by Mitchell, where he made the diving reception, was the difference in the drive. Thomas with his 3rd touchdown of the evening.
Another impressive performance by the freshman quarterback, Corey Pulley.
Bill Brown. Cut for the ankles. It's going to be a gain of 8. That's Atkinson who is holding on to it. And that is the end of the 3rd quarter. So there's a timeout here in Austin. A&M 27, Texas 13. We'll be back with the final 15 minutes after this.
I can't tell you how it feels when you're way out there on your own tracking the bad guys. How it feels leading a skilled team that's the eyes and ears of the whole outfit. When all your training is coming alive. But finding those tanks and telling the air cavalry right where to hit them, I can tell you exactly how that feels.
Introducing the Bud Light Jaguar Racing Team. Catch it this season.
Let's go. All revved up and ready to go.
How do we get the truck back?
Throw it in reverse.
Let's go.
A quote from Roden Track says the 190E 2.3's understated elegance never seems to go out of style. A quote from Car and Driver says the 190E 2.6 feels as solid as concrete. And a quote from Automobile Magazine says the 3-pointed star shines as brightly as ever. But none of these compare to the different quotes you can now get from your local Mercedes-Benz dealers. Now available with affordable monthly lease payments.
Citizen, 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 elegant citizen, citizen, elegance. Oh, his citizen, citizen, one citizen with lots of citizen, elegant, elegant, averaging elegant citizen. We've got elegance.
This season, Pizza Hut is giving you something to celebrate. The Holiday Stuffer, a pizza loaded with 10 toppings and 3 kinds of cheese. Try one medium for a special price of $9.99. Any second pizza is half its menu price. But hurry, because when the season ends, so does the deal.
Panasonic presents a unique and highly evolved Smooth Operator. The new Smooth Operator 2 with float control is the only razor to unite the comfort of twin independent floating heads with the closeness of a warm, wet shave. Don't try this with any plugged-in razor. The new Smooth Operator wet dry razors from Panasonic. Smoother than you ever thought you would be.
Some of the Longhorn faithful on hand on this Turkey Day meeting, 1992. The 99th time that these two schools have gotten together on the gridiron. Now the tackleman came on across, made contact with Turk McDonald, and it's going to cost A&M 5 yards. But it's also going to move the sticks. Mike, since back in the first quarter, Lavelle Pinckney was open, a ball that hit him on the hands just a little bit too far that would have gone for 6 if he holds on. Boy, he's just been silenced. We haven't seen him or heard from him since then.
You're right, Ron. If they're going to win this football game, they have to get the ball to him and Mike Adams on the outside because too tough inside for a steady dive.
Pressure from the middle and also the outside. The middle screen is Adams and close to the first down at the 43. I'll tell you what, with what the Aggies have hit, it looks like a jailbreak up there.
Well, the Texas fans are going to enjoy Mike Adams for the rest of his career because he's such a game breaker. Marcus Buckley up inside, good block for Peter Gardere, able to get the screen off, a good call versus the screen with Marcus Buckley coming from the outside. But Michael Adams is the kind of player that every time he touches the ball, he's very capable of the big play.
Pitch to Adrian Walker, turns the corner, has the first down, a 1 flag, 2 flags, Frazier defensively. Holding Texas.
See the patience of John Makovic. He's been here before. He knows he's got to build this thing, and he's going to recruit. He knows what he has to do here. He has a plan of success.
Well, there's a big one right there. Would have been a first down, and a penalty now is going to be spotted. The ball will be at the 46-yard line, so it's second down and about 11 yards.
Still got to be patient with his play calling also because you can't get in situations where Buckley and Solari and Atkinson can just pin their ears back and blitz on you.
Everybody's coming on this one, and he goes up, going for Adams, incomplete. Glenn was trying to cover, and I think had that ball been a little bit closer to him, handkerchief might have come out, but it was just well over his head.
Just didn't get enough air on the ball. They were challenging Aaron Glenn again with Mike Adams. They had what they wanted, Ron. You got a one-on-one on the outside, and Mike Adams with good speed, he's got him beat. Now he's holding on a little bit, but the ball's just too far over his head.
Fourth quarter, 14:08 left to play.
I'd come right back at him again. I'd come right back at Aaron Glenn. Same thing where I try to get somebody behind him.
Aggies 27-13, and they go with the run. Phil Brown caught from behind, 94, Steve Solari. Will stop him from getting the first down, and it's going to be fourth down, Texas, and they need 2.5 yards.
This is a tough decision for John Makovic. He's made it, unless he has a fake punt on here. Looks like he'll turn the ball back over to A&M.
Frazier goes back deep for the Aggies as you look at McClanahan.
I think this is a good choice by John Makovic.
Fair catch is signaled for and is made at the 13-yard line. We'll take a break. 13:27 left in this one.
Who has the advanced training and equipment to take care of the advanced technology on your GM vehicle? You know who. Mr. Goodwrench, the smart choice for your smart car.
Thank you. To all of you attracted by Buick's reputation for quality, but who think a new Buick is beyond your means, may I make the following suggestion? Go see the new Buick Skylark Custom. It is every bit a quality Buick. And as the most affordable Buick for 1993, it makes Buick quality more attractive than ever.
He's crazy about the rodeo. He says he's crazy about me. I don't know. Maybe he's just plain crazy.
Here's to rodeo cowboys, the women who love them, and cowboy cut jeans. Wrangler.
It's a very sophisticated system. You're probably better off taking it to the GM dealership.
We haven't got that kind of equipment here. Best bet's the dealership.
Pretty tricky stuff. Out of our league.
Sorry, try the dealership. The dealership.
The GM dealership.
ESPN's presentation of college football is being brought to you by Buick and your local Buick dealers. Remember Buick, the new symbol of quality in America. And by AC Delco Automotive Parts. AC Delco, it's like buying time. We are back in Austin, Texas on this Turkey Day affair. 27-13, Texas A&M leading in the pass just a moment ago by Gardere a couple of times tonight. That's been the story, just a little bit too long on a receiver who has his man beaten. Over the draw play. Shane Rink is the man who makes the tackle on Greg Hill. Dr. Jerry Punch, a report from you.
Well, he may be hurt, guys, but he's back on the sidelines on crutches watching his teammates and trying to cheer the Longhorns along. We're talking about the senior free safety, Willie Mack Garza, standing here with a broken left leg, but still in this ball game here tonight. A big rivalry, not a broken leg, going to keep him away from watching this one finish.
That says everything about this rivalry, I think. Hill again will be grabbed by the ankle. Winfred Tubbs this time.
We have watched Texas A&M 3 times this year, Ron. We've watched tape on them, and the thing that's impressive about them is they wear you down. They wear teams down on offense. They wear them down on defense, and the fourth quarter is usually theirs. They just control the ball game till they wear you to a point where they take it over.
Third down. And they need the 23, Mike, to keep this drive alive. Knocked out of bounds over the 47-yard line. Adrian Karsten, what do you have for us?
Well, Ron, as Coach just said, one of the last things that actually Bob Toledo and R.C. Slocum said as they were taking the field was, hey, this is our half. This is the second half. But look at this information. Throughout the year, the second half of the game has been their better half. Outscoring their opponents in the first half 116-99, but look at the second half. 199-56. That's almost twice as many points in the third and fourth quarter.
29 yards on that pass play there, which backs up your point, Mike, as far as wear the opponent down. Greg Hill slipping and sliding, takes it to the 50.
Ron, here's the impressive thing about Texas A&M. Only will lose 2 seniors on offense, 2 seniors on defense,
that's right,
and a punter. So you're talking about a very young football team here. They're only going to sign 8 to 10 players this year. And Texas will sign 20. That means a lot of schools will be coming in this state where great high school football and great high school coaching will have a lot of prospects.
Hill. Tubbs knocks him down hard at the 40, but not before. He has a gain of 12 yards in the play, and a first down, Texas A&M.
Just keep running the football at you. Just keep making plays. R.C. Slocum's team just wears you down. They're talking to Bob Davie, the defensive coordinator, in complete control right now.
Carter this time. The big fullback tries to hammer his way. That's Anthony Curl, though, that comes up and puts a good stick on him, and Todd Hunt also helping on the tackle. And look at the improvement, Mike, as far as R.C. Slocum's stint at Texas A&M.
Well, they have improved, and you have to think they're still in the national picture here to win the national championship. A lot of things can still happen, but when you're 11-0, could be 12-0, you've done all you're asked to do. You've won every game.
There's some people that have talked about passing them by on the rankings, but hit behind the line of scrimmage, and that's Anthony Curl, who leads the attack. Also, Chris Rapp, number 63, and Dwayne Bosick. But yes, like you said, what else can you do? You got that many teams on your schedule, and it appears that with just over 10 minutes to play, they lead by 14 here, that they are on their way to make it 12-0.
And I'm impressed most with the young players. You win with young players. Usually it takes senior leadership to pull you through, but this is a young team. R.C. Slocum and the staff have done a great job with this team.
Pressure from the backside. Curl with the hit. Pass is overthrown. And Texas will get the football back. Mitchell is who he wanted. I'd say if Venetoulis, this would be about a 55-yard attempt. Now they're going to send David Davis on. They'll punt it away.
I think the way their defense is playing, unless they try something with a trick play here, you have to pin Texas in the hole and just let your defense play.
You don't want to give Adams an opportunity to return it. Signals for the fair catch and makes it at the 10-yard line. So there's a timeout on the field. 27-13, Texas A&M. We'll be right back.
Over the years, I've made a lot of trips back and forth to Vegas.
So how's it going this trip, George?
The odometer was broken for over 50,000 miles. So I say we've got 300,000 miles on this car.
Hi, George.
I've had a longer relationship with this car than I've had with any woman.
Hi, George. How are you?
This beauty's a living example of what can be done with proper maintenance and AC Delco.
Hi, George.
AC Delco parts. It's like buying time.
Why is the Sabre the best-selling full-size in America? It's simple. Because it's built like a Buick. And Buick has become an enormous symbol for quality in America.
45, even 45 says, even 46 per pound, $4,700 for one time, $47.5.
What'll it be, fellas?
Make it a Bud Light.
Sorry. This is the last one.
Well, I think I've been. I can take that one.
What do you want to give for it? I'm a 2 and a 10. Give me 10, a 20 big. Give me 20 now, 30. Give me 30 now, 40 big. Give me 40 now, 50. Give me 50 now, 60 big. Give me 60 now, 70. Give me 70 now, 80.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Bud Light, please.
Sorry, boys. This is the last one.
Good look at Marcus Buckley, the All-American linebacker for the Texas Aggies. Situation, the Longhorns are 90 yards away. Kenny Neal has come in at wide receiver, number 6. At the bottom of your screen. Again, the counterplay, Adrian Walker.
.936 on the clock, Ron. You have to throw the football. Got to also be very conscious of where Buckley is. But you have to get the ball in the wide receiver's hands.
And as we mentioned, they said they wanted to get the ball as many times as they could to Mike Adams.
Offside call on A&M.
So it'll be first down and 5 as they move it to the 20-yard line. But as I mentioned a moment ago, not only have they not been able to get it to Adams that many times, I am surprised that Pinckney has just been a non-entity in the ball game. And you'd think at 6'5", 222, you'd want to pick on a corner who is not even 6 feet tall. Gardere deep over the middle, and Patrick Bates came from Interstate 35 to knock that one down. Good heavens.
Transfer from UCLA, you're right, he broke on the football with his left hand, made the deflection. Peter Gardere knows number 9 is breathing down his back. Steps up into the pocket. You see the double team on Marcus Buckley. Patrick Bates with his left hand deflects that football.
Adrian Walker puts the head down. Boy, you can hear the contact even over the roar of this huge crowd. Sam Adams, the first man, along with Eric England.
That's what Marcus Buckley makes you do. You have to run to him just to keep him honest on that second down play. He's revved up right now. He knows this is his kind of game. At this point with 8:48, he knows they have to throw the